It's not on this phone. It's on this. My app phone is the phone I'm using to host the show.
No problem.
All right. Bye, baby girl.
Thank you.
Bye, baby. I don't use an iPad. Awesome. Are you ready? Oh wait, we got the baby. You got the baby again. Awesome.
Yeah, I just she.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
What she like to do is she like to wake us, see? And I tried to, every now and then she'd just wake up on her own. I was trying to get her to go back to sleep, but I don't think that's going to happen. She'll probably go back to sleep if I rock her. So,
well, awesome. You know, he was on the show on Saturday, and before I start, I got you. You told me, everybody, I'm gonna get to the people in queue, so y'all don't go nowhere. I'm gonna talk to Awesome, but if you're in queue, you will get an interview.
Yeah.
So don't hang up. So I'm gonna say that to people in queue.
But I know you let the fox in the hen house.
Hello?
You done let the fox in the hen house.
What does that mean?
They're not gonna like you if you do this interview with me. They're gonna hate you.
No, they're gonna like me. What are you talking about?
Okay. All right.
Listen, who you are represents you. Hi, cutie. Look at the cute baby. But we got a lot of questions because you saw the comment section. I'm quite sure of it.
Well, I saw a little bit of it. I don't particularly pay too much attention, but
I got some questions that that people had. If you didn't see Awesome's first video, go and watch it. But let me get to some questions.
Okay.
He's holding a 9-month-old baby. I'll do a minor recap. This is 9-month-old daughter. He's looking for a Black woman who has no kids. That's not an option for him. Have to be willing to have kids. Be a mother to his child. Do not eat your steak medium well. That is not. It shows you don't know how to act, child. Be open-minded to the steak that he's going to order for you because he orders for his woman. He's not negotiating that. Get with the program or get lost. Is that right?
Yes. So far.
He over there frazzled. He looking frazzled. Man, ain't no way. What woman just left him to have that baby over there by himself? I mean, so far, I just tuned in because I was listening, and I was like, you know what? I need to turn this live on because you're doing too much. You're already doing too much. The baby still. Let's get into it.
Basically.
Well, let me ask you a couple things. Are you calling me from a shelter?
Yes,
I knew. Everybody said he was in a shelter. We knew it.
Let me say this. First of all, Kendra, how do you like the suit? I came on here looking like a.
But the whole point is you was talking crazy and you're talking reckless about stuff that you want. And you don't have the background or the, standing to be asking for all this crazy.
Reese Cup. I figure one of these sisters might want to, I got to remember I got my daughter here. So that's number one. So I hope.
Let's start with number one.
Yeah.
Okay, because I never did a reaction video to my show, but you had me do a reaction video.
Wait, man, hold up. How he asking for a woman and he ain't even got no money to take care of a woman? But he don't want a woman to come over there with money. He want to be able to support her. Y'all gonna be living in that shelter?
To your video. And one thing I said, men with money talk the way you talk. Now, you got to have
he a man without money. Stop it.
Money to talk the way you talk. Awesome. You can't be living in a shelter and making those demands.
Yeah. Okay. Now, are you finished? May I speak?
I'm not finished, but you can speak.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
I mean, we're going to be having a dialogue.
Okay. Number one, I can because I did. That's number one. Number two, I've always been like this. I don't let money make me. Let me say something, Kendra.
Yes, but the money makes the world go round. And if you broke, you have a different set of standards and different set of wants and needs and desires than you do with somebody who got money. These are the demands you making are outrageous for a man who's in a shelter and who got a baby.
Let's just get right down to the root of the issue. The root of the issue is that a lot of Black women just don't like Black men. They don't respect Black men. That's the core of the issue. I don't deal with.
How do people have such disrespect for Black women and then come on here and say you want a Black woman? I don't understand that. I would be loving on Black men if I was a person who loved Black men. Why is it the first thing y'all do is go for the disrespect of Black women?
Symptoms, I deal with the cause. You don't like Black men, so you don't respect Black men. So whatever you always want to come. If I were white and doing the very same thing, taking care of my daughter, women would say, what a great guy he is. They would say, look at him.
No, that's not what we would say. What we would say is, if you're a man who hasn't been to prison for 16 years, who isn't out there recklessly with his peen, and he's taking care of his kids and he's able to support me, we wouldn't have a problem with all that. But you're not able to support yourself.
Look at why this white man doing this, but black men don't take care of their children. Let me give you a little bit of my backstory. I literally left the streets to take care of her. CPS tried to take her from me 4 different times. CPS called me today to try to take my daughter from me.
Which means you're not doing what you're supposed to do, which means you're still on the verge of losing her and going back to the street. You don't have a standing to do what you're doing, or you shouldn't even be on here asking for a woman.
I have to do certain things and go through certain protocols in order to make sure she's safe. So let me say this. Number one, yes, I did work at Popeyes. I did a video on that on my channel. I did that. I'm not going to promote it here. If you found it, you know it. You can see it. It was as proud as I've ever been of myself. I picked up trash. Shout out to Shanice Green, who hired me. I made $12 an hour picking up trash at Popeyes. Shout out to the people that work these fast food jobs and that keep this country going. People are not better than them. And so I want to thank them. I learned a lot about myself doing it. It was challenging. I pushed myself because I had to figure out a way to keep milk in my daughter's stomach and keep her out the system. So to these people who have a problem with that, you know what you can do and you know where you can go. I've never run or ran from my past.
See, the problem is people think we are hating on the man because the man has a half white child. We don't care. I don't care about that. It's a beautiful child. And he's down on his luck. The whole point is he's demanding something that he can't possibly demand, and he is a long way from being able to support a family and a woman the way he is saying that he can. He can't do that right now. And he's not in a position to do it, and he won't be in a position to do it for several years or months, if that. And you have a young child along the way.
Who I am, I'm a man. I stand tall about it all. Money never made me. It never broke me. And I don't give a blank what these silly people in your comments say. These silly hood rat broads with these tattoos on their neck.
Yeah, but we all don't have tattoos on our neck. We all aren't like that. Now, shout out to the ladies who got tattoos, but I'm saying we're not all like that. So you can't say that, right?
You don't qualify. I don't care about your BBL. Yeah, I don't like that neither. You for recreational use, baby.
Now you're becoming disrespectful. Now you're coming somewhere where we don't want to be. Now we know you were making up a script when you were talking earlier. It was a script.
And for you sucker black men who wear tight chains, you should be, if you're gonna wear a gold chain, lame, it should be at least 26 inches. For real, for real. If you're gonna wear a gold chain, it should be at least 26 inches.
Why is he going off with the people in the comment section? He presented his life to us. We didn't present our life to him. And this is what you get when you present yourself out onto the internet. He comes across as really weird. I don't know whether it's gay, but
to you suckers who wear bonnets, to you suckers who go outside in Crocs, to you black men who text the letter K, you a coward and you weak. And you don't have the ability to stand like I stand in the face of fire.
Okay, let me
do what I do.
All right, now let me just jump in, awesome, because I wanna give you a chance to talk, and you'll give me the same respect.
Yeah, we gave him a chance to talk, and then he went off the rails. Right now, he just went off the rails. Could have thought of him as a good guy. Could have thought of him as a decent guy who just was down on his luck, but he comes across as a person who is smarmy, or a person who is trying to beat the system, and now he's trying to charm us into thinking he's such a nice man, a such cultured man, and yet until we just saw him rant and rave about the people in the comment section, had nothing to do with him.
I think we did a really good job of that in our first video.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, a couple of things. Now, you are very boisterous, and you have a lot of things to say. But not saying that, listen, life happens to all of us.
Mhm.
And, you know, you could be in a high rise one day and be in a shelter the next day. And that's fair. So no judgment of where you are in life and trying to become a better man. But you are doing a lot of judgment to people when at this moment you don't even have a foundation. You don't even have a home. And one would say this is a moment in life where maybe dating shouldn't be your focus because you're requesting.
And that's what I was saying. Why is dating your focus? But see, dating is his focus because he's trying to get someone to help him with the child. He can't handle the child. Why is he in a shelter? That child is 9 months old. Okay, fine. What were you doing before the 9 months? Before she had the baby and gave you the baby, what were you doing? Why weren't you stable at that time? That's the question. Why weren't you stable at that time? Do they allow you to wear those clothes at Popeyes? Do they allow you to wear those clothes making a pizza? I'm confused.
Very classy, beautiful Black woman who has no kids to come along and join you in this moment in life. Why would a woman that you describe sign up for a man that's in a shelter? I'm just being honest. And also, not even just a man that's been in a shelter. We understand that you are changing your life around, but you also did 16 years, according to us, and in jail. You have a child, a 9-month-old baby. We don't know all the ins and outs, but we know that a woman had a baby 9 months ago that is no longer taking care of the child. So that's a little crazy. You know, there's just a lot of things questionable about you. And you are asking for an elite Black woman to sign up. So why would she do that?
Yeah, I'm not asking anything. It's what's going to happen. She probably already found.
See, here's the thing. Kendrick, the other night you were telling him he's going to get what he wants. So why are you asking him that dumb question? You're the one who said he can get what he wants. Now, why is it you think he can get what he wants? Why are you asking that question? You didn't have any doubt about it before. She didn't have any doubt about it the other night.
Me. And I'm very interested in one young lady. Shout out to you, baby. And so that's
so if he already met the woman that he wants to deal with right now, why is he on the Kendra G show talking about? He just said shout out to you, baby. What's going on?
That's that. There's that. I may have already found her. You know, that's neither here nor there at this point.
Yeah, but weren't you on the show last night? So if you were on the show last night, what happened to this woman that was on that you're shouting out right now? Apparently she's not the one because you were shouting out for another woman last night, right? Or the night before, I'm sorry.
We'll see. The truth of the matter is this. Because I'm a man and because I'm not you and I'm not them cornballs in your comments. So that's why I'm a man who has done things that most of these people could never do, that most of these things could never be. Let me say.
What do you mean when you say you're not me, as in you're not a woman?
Yes, I'm not a woman. Let me listen. They said that I was lying. There were people. I'm gonna go through some things systematically. So just to go through some facts. Hold on. Oh, my bad. I was looking for this. So they said that I heard in the comments that I didn't have a passport and I was just lying.
Don't show your passport on a nationwide show.
Oh, don't worry about it. I ain't slow like that. There you go.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. These aren't the things that.
No, I want to. But can you allow me to cook Kendra for a second, please? Because people, they didn't have a problem dragging me, and I don't have a problem with that, right? Because one thing about me, I can take the smoke. My shoulder's been big my whole life. I'm a man who don't allow nobody to tell me nothing. I have stood tall, and I'm gonna get what I want because I deemed it so. And so when people can't understand that, I know they can't understand.
He's coming across just as nonsensical as some of these women do. I want this, I want that, I want this, without doing any of the work. The work for him involves a couple steps. Security and safety for the daughter. Security and safety for himself. Nobody is coming over to the shelter. Any woman that reached out to him and he's in the shelter, you need to have your head examined. If you're reaching out to him and he's in a shelter, you need your head examined. Only person that need to be reaching out to him is the baby mama to explain why she dropped that baby out of the sky on this man who just did 16-year bit.
understand that because they don't know what it is to stand in the face of adversity and to see things through and to come out on the other end. See, a lot of these people, they we get caught up in groupthink. You know what I mean? Like groupthink is really huge. If you can't see past my current circumstance, it like I said, if I have to tell you, then I ain't for you. Because any woman who can literally see the way I move, the way I talk, the way I dress, you can see this guy is not, he's different, right? And I'm gonna tell you.
And my whole point is this: what kind of crime did you commit that you went to jail? If you're such this refined human being, what crime were you committing out in the street that made you become a convict? Because you don't seem like you digging ditches. So if you're not the type of man that digs ditches, or you're not the type of man to put a sock on your head and rob, what crime did you commit that you had to do 16 years for, that you didn't learn? You didn't learn not to do it again. You just said you were on your way back to prison before that baby dropped into your lap 9 months ago, which meant less than a year ago, you were ready to commit more crimes. Why should we believe that you changed and did anything? Why should we believe that you're a changed man from the jail attraction that you have, or prison attraction that you have? No woman worth her salt is going to go over there when you're fresh out the prison camp within 2 years. And you've done it 3 times. So that means you haven't learned your lesson. You ain't been out of prison for 16 years. That's for sure.
Tell you something, Kendra, and there was one show I remember. Black women are the only women that let their best men go to other races of women.
Wait, hold on. Okay, no, I do.
So why are you bashing black women? We ain't said nothing against you. We just said we're not going over there because you haven't proven to us that you're past the criminal challenge that is your life. Your life is a criminal challenge. Your life is a body in progress. It just is what it is. And then you come home with a baby that's 9 months old, and you're the one who's taking care of her, and you're in a shelter. Your life is definitely not conducive to having a relationship with a woman, and a black woman at that. No, come on.
Okay, I do want to honor you to speak, but this is something I wanted to respond to earlier because you said earlier about black women don't like black men. Here's the deal. I, as a black woman, that's not. Hold on. So I'm gonna let you continue. Kendra. Say it again.
I said respect.
Oh, respect. Okay. Yes. Well, right now you're about to say we let black men go. Here's the deal. Black women don't want to feel like they're working for a slave master. Okay. And what happens is a lot of men, you guys come in with a dictatorship that women just can't get with. And if a woman is not necessarily, relying on you for your money, there's really no reason for her to feel like she now has a slave master. So I don't think it's fair to say that black women don't respect black men. I think black men at times, and this is not an overall, because there's plenty of black men who respect black women, and there's also plenty of black women that respect black men. But I feel as though there are times when black men don't respect black women. Something you said in the last video that I totally missed it during the interview, when you said, there was no pretty black women in West Virginia. Yes. Therefore you have a baby by a white woman, but now you want a black woman to raise this child. That was disrespectful to black women by just saying that in the whole state there was no beautiful black women, so you had to procreate with a white woman, and now you want a black woman to raise your child. How are you respecting black women with that statement?
Kendra, even though I let me say this. How can I say this? I gotta remember, so I got her right here. Okay, because she's woke. Okay. Here's the thing. I adore, no matter how many black women don't like me for whatever reason, I still adore them. I I've always seen myself being with a black woman. I could have any race of women I want. That's not the issue. But I specifically prefer my own people. That's just simple as that. Now, I I could be like other men who think that other women of race or of another race are better. However, I don't. I specifically prefer my own. And if that's a bad thing, I guess I can take that. But I'll accept that graciously, knowing that I don't see it that way. I
Well, that's
still
what
want
you
to be
said, though.
with the
I'm
black
just reading
woman.
what you said. You
No, I
said
said that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you said when you were in West Virginia,
There were
no
there were
pretty.
very few. Yes, there were very few, if any. You know what I'm saying? Especially with bottom line is my daughter's here. I'm not trying to push my daughter. I'm glad she's here. And I love my daughter and I wouldn't change anything about her, not even a mother, because it meant to be, was what it was. It is what a man makes it, right? So it's up to me to make the most of it or to fold under pressure. I didn't fold. And so that's the bottom line here. So I could come up. I said previously that the sister asked me a question. I said, yeah, I threw my Johnson on the table and I was doing too much. And I owned it. But what I'm not gonna do is continue to qualify what people think, their silly, petty opinions, because they feel like here's the thing, and I didn't get a chance to finish this earlier. There was a guy on a Pop the Balloon show one time, Kendra, and he was a young black man, and he was going to be an aerospace engineer. And I would never forget him. And he was an aerospace engineer. He also had a half part business in a startup company. Black women popped on him because of his outfit. Kendra, his outfit. Now that same man, when he's rich in 15 years, black women will say, "Where is your sister?" You see the hypocrisy and the phoniness, and that's why it's all silly to me. And that's why I have no respect. You can't take these people seriously. I don't take the comments seriously. I want to shout out the black men and the black
Hold on,
sisters
I
that
want to
reached
jump
out.
in because I do want to
Okay.
dialogue, but you got to let me respond to some things.
Yes,
Now,
I
the
apologize because
example.
I got to get a lot of stuff out.
Okay,
Go ahead.
you can after I say what I gotta say.
Okay.
For what you just said, respectfully, so I agree with that guy being prejudged by women. I didn't watch this episode, so I'm just taking your words for it.
Yes.
But if what you are saying is true about that episode,
I never
I
lied.
agree with it. But now I want to say you are not that man. You guys do not have the same resume. You are a man that has 2 baby mamas that you did not marry. You were once in the street. You did at least 16 years in prison.
Yes.
Why do you feel as though you're one of our elite black men with the resume that you currently have? Why would you deem yourself to be in the category?
Sorry about that, y'all. It's not a matter of him not being a decent human being. Maybe, we don't know. But we can only go by past experience, and we can only go by what you have shown us. You have shown us that you're reckless with your peen. You have no intention of marrying the baby mamas that you make baby mamas, but you want a woman to go over there who ain't got no kids. Then you might get her pregnant. Then you might leave her. That baby mama may come back. You're talking as though you're that guy. You're not that guy.
Of the guy you just described.
Great
Y'all not
question.
equal.
Great question. I think that brother's great. I think that young brother's great, and I wish him all the success and the prosperity in the world. I want to say something, Kendra. I never once called myself a high value man. I never once. I don't subscribe to any titles other than being a man.
See, this sound like that damn Fugazi-ish, pretending like he ain't said that he the man. You said you were him. You told us the other night you were him. But the whole point is bravado. I get the bravado. I get it. You got to project an image. You got to project strength. You got to project all of these things because you want a specific woman. But there's also a thing called being humble. There's also a thing being stoic. Okay. But you have to be the man to present to demand what you've been demanding, and that's not right. You can't pull a woman over there and then expect to tie her hands.
Period. End of story. So I don't care about titles. None of that matters to me. I know when you step to me, I know what it is. And if you don't, you'll learn. And I know that the woman that's with me, I protect, I care for. I'm not only a fool is provoked by insolent speech. A wise man laugheth in scorn. So that's why these comments, these people.
How do we know you're not foolish like you were 2 years ago when you got out of prison? How we know that you ain't foolish like that? That's the whole point. We don't know. You don't have a history. You don't have your prisoning behind you. Your prison time is not behind you. It's right up on you. You said the baby saved you from going to feds, which meant you still had a criminal mindset. And you ain't that far away, which means a woman is taking a chance, a serious chance, that she's going to be left taking care of a baby that she don't know nothing about the mama, who might come back and get it because you said you didn't do the legal thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the air, but you ain't that guy.
These silly people in these chats don't move me. I respect the people that did reach out to me, the people that reached out on me on Facebook. Shout out to those people. And just to send a kind word. But I'm a man who can take the fire because I've always been in the fire. And I'm saying what I want. I stand tall and I'm going to get it. And whether anybody likes it or dislikes it, then that's something that they'll have to deal with. But that would be my response to that.
Okay, because I wanted you to finish this. The reason I said that is you were going on a line of saying black women let their best black men go to other races.
Yes. Oh, so, yes. Oh, okay, got you.
Okay, yeah. So that's what you said. So do you consider yourself to be one of our top black men?
I'm a great black man. I'm a great black man.
So are you saying that?
See, this is what I don't like about Kendra. She know she should have gave his ass the smoke. She should have gave his ass the real smoke. Once she had that interview with him the other day, and then she had this review she had yesterday. You had enough opportunity to figure out what the smoke was to give to this man. You trying to be nice about it. You can be nice, but you can still bring it to him like he's supposed to be. Because somebody else would have said something else, you'd have been on his ass cussing him out.
Okay. Because
like you did that light-skinned dude the other day.
Because what happens is with most people, Kendra, you can't see past what's right in front of you. See, this is the problem with most of these people. They fickle and stupid. They don't have the ability to see past what's right in front of them. They see certain things. They see some pseudo-masculine guy with moissanite diamonds and they think he's rich. You see some guy walking around, you know what I mean, in penny loafers, you think he's poor. See, everything is visual with a lot of our people. That's why we're so easily manipulated and controlled, because everything is visual, it's visceral, it's emotional.
How do you come off saying all of these things and yet and still, in all actuality, we could all say your life has been somewhat of a failure? Somewhat of a failure because you, being the human being that you are, you weren't smart enough to stay out of prison 3 times. You went to prison 3 times tells me you weren't smart enough to stay out of prison. But you're calling all of us dumb.
I don't move like that. And there's a lot of our people that don't think that way either. The people that reached out to me, the women that reached out to me, they adored me. They adored to see a black man stand tall and to call it like he saw it, regardless to the storm. You see, this country, Kendra, really wants to push black masculinity down.
Don't you start that bull. Don't you start that bull. You did this to yourself. You and your past criminality did this to yourself. Can you imagine if this man had never went to prison and this man really focused on being educated, going to do something financial or whatever? This man could have been so much more than what he is now. With the felony, it holds him back. You rather have been criminally challenged than to be financially challenged or mentally challenged or educationally challenged. You chose the wrong route. Now it's all of our fault for holding you back. We held you back. We made you steal, sell drugs, do whatever. We made you do that. Now you want to come across as something that you're not.
And I told you at the beginning of my interview that besides my daughters, my priority was the masculinity, upliftment, and self-esteem of black men. It's always been that way because that's how you build communities with strong men, not strong women. Nobody cares about no boss broad. And a lot of these broads don't even.
Now we see it. Now we see the mask starting to come off. Now he's trying to take it off. He's trying to keep it on, but he's scrambling to keep that facade that he had the other night on. He really was trying to come up with a good mask, and I get it. You're supposed to present yourself the best foot forward. But if you're a liar behind all the bullshit that these women who be on the show be spouting, because the women on here be spouting lies too. He's spouting the same lies as the women. He has a bravado, like his chest is stuck out, like you got all that going on. And now we see the mask is coming off. What you really think about black women, what you really think about your race, what you really think about people.
Even look that pretty without their wigs and their face paint. This ain't no shot to you, Kendra. I'm talking to them. Let's see you without that wig and spray your face, and let's see what you look like. You see, Kendra, they're phony. They hide behind things. I'm not hiding behind nothing. Yes, I worked at Papa. Yes, I've been in the streets. Yes, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of. I should be dead or doing life, but I'm not, thank the Creator. I'm over here raising her.
So awesome. Why are you in a shelter? Why don't you have the ability to have your own home?
I can't get into that.
Well, you're on an international show, and we've already.
Well, like I said, I cannot. I put like this. I won't be here that much longer. Simple as that. I explained a little bit of it in the beginning.
Do you have outside money, outside of making outside the pizza shop?
No.
And I also want to say this to the boss.
Wait a minute, didn't he tell us that he had other things going on? So are you going back to the criminality part where you make a little money and you hustle on the side and then you make money to do what you got to do? Because I ain't mad at a man who got to hustle. I ain't mad at that. I ain't gonna say nothing about how you do it. But don't come on here like you're an honorable man, like you're an upstanding man, when you ain't that. Because you're only 2 seconds away from the damn street. And you're only 2 seconds away from pulling the lady into your bullshit. And then she got to deal with a baby, and she got to deal with that. Wow.
Chick comment. Because I consider myself to be a successful black woman. And I hear that a lot from men. But guess what? No one really knew you until you came on a show created by a boss chick. Like you said earlier, you get women. You don't.
Now we got Kendra in her damn feelings because he said boss chick. Now she in her feelings. We ain't talking about you, girl. Stop doing that.
You don't need me, but yet in order to get the attention that you are receiving right now, it's by a woman's platform that created the show. And I want to piggyback to all the other men that feel that way, but yet still take content from a woman's show that they created. So y'all should not say that. Y'all actually should be thankful for all the boss chicks, because what else would y'all be talking about? This is how y'all make y'all living. This is how y'all create y'all name, by talking about women that I believe, to be quite honest, some men are jealous of, because this woman might be more successful for them than them. And they feel as though a man is supposed to be a man and a woman shouldn't outnumber them. So I don't even know why men act like they don't like successful black women when all y'all do is live off of them. Y'all live off of us.
You said y'all. Go ahead. Okay, respectfully, you group me in that. I don't do reaction videos.
No, you are in that, because the fact of the matter is you're on my show that was created by a woman.
I'll deal with my part. Okay, I'll deal with my part.
So you should respect women who create things and are boss chicks. All you men say that, but yet y'all live off of us. So that's a stupid comment to me.
Okay, fine. I'll deal with my part in that. First of all, I gave you initial props for what you created and what you've done. I think it's great. I'm not knocking you specifically. I know it's difficult to probably not interject yourself into this conversation. I'm not really talking to you, yet I'm talking to you. So I want to make that point. I'm not throwing shade at you, Ken. I don't roll like that. I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. So I want to make that very clear. And I'm talking to these women who have so much mouth. If black people have so much, then why only do we have 2% of wealth in this country? We don't have anything, Kendra. We don't own anything. If you really want to create generational wealth, like all of these black boss bras talk, get married. That's how you create generational wealth, through getting married.
You still on that let me downgrade the women out here. You can see the antagonist, and then you wonder why women say, I'm not dealing with that. This is what is behind that mask of civility that we see when men talk like this. They say, oh, he's saying the right thing. He's saying everything right. No, he's not, because behind that is this. Behind that is this. And women can sense when you just placating and you really don't like women. Because nobody gets on a show that's dating show and says she got to do what I tell her to do, when I tell her to do it, how I tell her to do it, and no woman wants to hear that. I'm just giving you an FYI. As a man, no woman wants to hear this, because it doesn't come with the real sweet words. It comes with bullshit behind it.
Mary, the Asians figured it out. The East Indians figured it out. The Mexicans figured it out. The whites figured it out. So this is no.
Why is he angry? Did somebody cuss him out in the damn chat? Did SBC go over there and start calling them names? Y'all know y'all ignorant like that. Did y'all go over there and rile that man up?
That black wealth, that black generational wealth is created by one individual woman. Women don't create anything substantial for real. Women are built to nurture.
Why are you denigrating women and you're on here looking for a woman? That is denigrating to women. When you say a woman is not worth anything except to have a child, which I was on a panel earlier today. I had a panel. And when I heard a man say that right there gets my goat. Stop saying a woman is not worth anything other than having a baby. That's how you end up by yourself. Go over there and touch your own dry wood. No woman worth her salt is going over there when she hears a man denigrate a woman like that. No woman should. And him, on top of all the things that he got going on that's negative, shouldn't be saying anything negative about a woman. And he wants one to help him. He's asking a woman to come over there and do more than what she needs to come over there and do.
And shout out to the few women who have made a couple contributions here and there. But men specifically have shaped the world that we live in, that turn the lights on, that run our infrastructures. The very men that these women.
I told y'all, he over there talking them foo-foo lalo red pill points. To me, this is red pill talking points. To me, this is what it sound like. Sound like Andrew Tate. Sound like Anton Daniel. It sound like them. That's red pill talk. No woman likes that. You show me one woman that's been successful that done did this, who has married somebody who talks like this. I don't know one woman.
Say that are no good when they make 40 or 50 grand a year, when these are solid, strong, capable black men who would take care of them and who would receive them. But yet they say these brothers aren't enough. It's all cap, Kendra. It's all cap. I'm that guy. I've been that guy. I always win. I'm going to win again. And the woman that I'm going to marry from your show, more than likely, you'll see by the time a year goes by, I'll be in a different place.
Okay,
and I'll let you know about it.
I do want to say this to that.
Yes.
Well, the whole point is he going to be in a different place? He said this baby came along and saved him from being on the street. So my question is, what were you doing that was going to put you in the street? What were you doing?
You being in a shelter, life can happen to everybody. Mm-hmm. So if you're a hustler, you'll figure it out. But I want to say this about marriage, because I hear this a lot too from men. I don't watch a lot of podcasts. I don't actually watch no podcasts, to be quite honest, but I'm on Instagram, so I'll see feeds. But I've heard this comment from unmarried men before about Black women need to get married. Well, who do you want her to marry? You are on record. You have 2 women that you have children with that you said you would have never married. So how can you judge a woman for not being a wife when Black?
Can y'all still hear me? Because my pincher went out.
Men are not marrying the.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me.
Women they have kids with.
Kendra, I'm a man. I know that this world has told you all that we're equal, and
No. That's not an equal question. This is a math question because
I'm giving you your answer.
But hold on, you're judging people for not being married, but yet and still you are a man that procreated with 2 different women that told me you would never marry. So how can you judge a woman for not being a wife when men are not marrying women they have kids with?
Kendra, because it's mama's babies, papa's maybes, and it's always going to be that way. It's mama's. Why do they say that? Because that's twofold. Mama's babies mean you're going to have to take care of that baby if you have it.
But here's the deal. But awesome. And one thing I liked about you.
Okay.
One thing I liked about you in the first interview, I felt like you wouldn't shy away from these direct questions. But this is a direct question. You have to give blame to men when it comes to marriage as well. Then you can't just say Black women aren't wives. No. So what is there's no, you can't make that argument when you are a man that's contributing to the lack of marriages. Like you are part of the lack of marriages because you have children with women you did not want to marry.
Kendra, I'm gonna be married. I'm not.
Right, but the 2 women you have kids with, are they married?
So what? No, nobody wants. No.
So how can you judge?
Wait a minute, did he be fucking ugly bitches? I don't understand. What are you talking about? He was just finna say, no, there don't nobody want to marry. What do you mean nobody want to marry them? What are you talking about? She's trying to say men need to take accountability for the fact that they get their women pregnant and don't marry their women. That's the accountability piece that men need to take. You get women pregnant that you don't want to marry. That's the accountability. That's it. That's the whole shebang. She's trying to tell him that, but she ain't said it. I'll say it. That's the male accountability piece.
You're saying nobody wants them. You want them. You got kids by them.
Kendra, no, I wanted the box. No. Kendra.
You wanted the box. All men want the box. But why don't you cover the Jimmy? You don't want the baby, but you want the box. So cover the Jimmy. That's y'all's accountability piece as a man. That's his accountability piece as a man. It just is what it is.
Kendra, I think that there's a misconception here, and this is why I'm here, because number one, I respect you, but I don't duck no smoke. I know for a fact that men and women are different. There's always been the case. There's always been double standards that benefit both genders. That's the bottom line. There's things that women can do that men cannot do, and vice versa. Men live with that every day and they accept it. Women are the ones who have a problem accepting the reality of their fate, especially when they sit around, pop these babies out. I'm not taking care of your bastard baby. I don't care nothing about it. That's that. Anybody who signs up for it is a sucker. I said it. If you don't like it, then that's up to you. But it would be like me asking Kendra, you're a very successful woman. It would be like asking you to pay full price for a used car.
So, but okay,
like what? Who would pay full price for a used car?
So, okay, so let me ask you this. So,
yes, ma'am.
If any man dated your baby mamas, you think he's a sucker?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you, and Kendra, you know what? Just to keep it, you really want some content? I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it all the way real with you. Today is my mother's birthday. Today would have been my mother's 65th birthday. Am I saying?
That's what I said, Triple X. I said man's accountability is he wants to have the sex. But no, his accountability piece is he is making babies out here that he don't want. And you're not marrying your women. That's the man's accountability. We already know the woman's accountability. I said the man, he's not taking the part. Kendra is telling him he's not taking accountability for his part. His part. Men have a part in all of these babies that are around here too. The fact is, you don't marry the women that you get pregnant, and you don't feel responsible enough to wear a Jimmy hat. And though you're the one that's giving the sperm up, I'm saying that's his piece. According to Kendra, That's his piece, and he's not taking that. He, like most men, he thinks she just got to keep her legs closed, and we wouldn't have all these babies. No, you need to put a Jimmy hat on, and you wouldn't give her no babies. That's your accountability.
Saying that right? She's born in 59, 65. So 331, and I love my mother. I love her dearly. My father should have never married her. Let me say that again. My father should have never married my mother. It was a bad bet.
Why was it a bad bet for your father to marry your mother?
Great question. Because my father killed my mother September 6, 2006. What? And then he killed himself. I was in prison doing time in the hole. I allegedly, well, I did. I stabbed a guy in the eye, you know what I'm saying, about a fight, about a basketball game. And
whoa. He stabbed somebody in the eye, which basically means he is violent, which means he could be violent with you, which means if you don't do what he says, who knows what he's going to do if you don't do what he tells you to do. So what woman in her right mind would be going over there?
Some stupid stuff. They put me in the hole in Berriga. I got a call September 12th. September 12th, 2006. It was a bad bet because one of the children that she popped out, one of those bastards, played a game of Mickey Mouse, played a game that they should have never played between our parents. And she didn't do it, but she played a role in it. So this is so that story I was telling you about why I don't do it, they're unappreciative stepchildren. You never get full value. There's you get all of the responsibility, but none of the credit. It's always the black woman that gets lifted up. Oh, my mama did this. Stepdaddy came through being a sucker. We just needed him for his paycheck. You see, black men take this bet. We're the only race of men that are told to take this stupid ass bet and say, hey, take this leftover broad. Take this broad who thinks that she deserves a man after she's been dragged through the mud.
How is it that having one baby by somebody means that you're leftover trash and you're not worthy of being married?
Only race of men that are told that. No other.
You're the only race of men that believe that we hear that from.
Race of men accept these women, Kendra. They don't. And that's facts.
Well, can I say this also?
Absolutely, you may, ma'am. It's your platform. Yes.
It's not facts, because otherwise we wouldn't have people getting married with children anywhere. And people be lying about getting with people who got babies anyway. Why lie when that's the person that you get involved with? That's why I say these are talking points. They don't work in the real world. There's plenty of dudes out there banging big chicks, but they'll get on here and say they don't. And then they'll get on here and say they're not stepdaddies when they are.
Yes, you may.
Well, first of all, I think knowing the backstory of what happened with your parents explains you more to me. I mean, that's very traumatic. The fact that your father killed your mother, and trauma shows up in all different ways. So I feel like there's a lot of deep things, and now I understand your mindset more. But in the conversation of the leftover conversation, I would challenge that and say other races are big on marrying the women they have kids with. So other races pick women that they can marry and be the mother to their kids. So if black men just pick women that they could marry to have kids with, they wouldn't have to pick a leftover.
You need to choose better. All you men out there that got baby mamas, you need to choose better. You shitty chooser. Because they love to say that we can't choose. You, as a man, need to choose better. Stop getting these women pregnant. Get the right woman pregnant. Then you could marry the baby mama. Then we would have more marriages. See how that works? You see how that works? You men need to choose better. You got shitty choosing skills. You choose a trifling ass baby mama. And then you end up with all these babies by trifling ass women. You need to choose better. And other races don't have no problem marrying their women.
For woman, as you described it, by somebody else's leftovers. I think what happens is, and I don't know all the statistics, so I'm not going to break it down in that way with numbers, but we are a race of people that have gotten very comfortable with procreating without marriage. It kind of is what it is. But in other races, no. Once you have a child with somebody, you're marrying her. That's the system, and that's what it is. So this leftover comment, how about this? Just pick a woman that you can marry and have children with, and you won't fall in the category of finding a leftover woman.
Great. That's great, Kendra, but it's unrealistic. And I'll tell you why. Because men have always, since the beginning of time, wanted box. It's up to women to protect their virtue. Let me say this, Kendra. My daughter is married because of me. Shout out to my baby. Hey, baby. Daddy love her. My 26-year-old daughter, I got 3 grandbabies. She was a baby mama, but she listened to her daddy and married the father of her children, and she's never been happier. She said, Daddy, I'm finally living in my purpose. My daughter didn't always like me, Kendra. She didn't like me because she didn't understand exactly what I was telling her. But as life started to befall her, she said, he's the man that I need to go to that I need to go to for help and assistance. He has the answers. There's no question that my daughter's going to come to me with that her daddy don't have the answer. Her life is much better because she has decided. She listened to her daddy. I sent her the money to go straight to they went to the Justice of the Peace. $50. Kendra, I couldn't be prouder. Let me say that again. I couldn't be prouder of my daughter because she listened to daddy. She didn't take after the advice and the ways of her hood rat ass mother who wanted to see her fail. Her mother plotted and planned to see her fail. And now she's suffering. And it brings me great joy to see it. Nothing tickles my heart more than seeing my enemies get what they deserve.
You had a whole child with the woman you're talking about, sir.
Yeah, I did.
You're a petty ass human being. We already know you're a petty ass human being. See, you're just a shitty human being all around. That's what we knew. But we wanted you to show it. The mask is off. The petty, shitty, criminal mask is off.
Yeah, I couldn't care less.
So awesome. This is what I always say here, because I believe in law of attraction.
Kendra, I want to give you something else too. I want to tell you something why I said, because since I'm being so honest, I want to give you this as well.
Go ahead.
This is going to be your best interview, Kendra. And so just kind of let me cook. I promise you'll appreciate me later. Kendra, when about 2002, I think it was, I got out of prison again and say, I think it was 15. I got out in 15. I started doing good by about the middle of 15. I went to go see my daughter. She was turning 16 years old. Her birthday's in January. Hey, Pumpkin. I went to see her because I had missed her birthday, so I went for spring break. That's what it was. And I was going to take her shopping. Had a pocket full of money. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. Your daddy Pumpkin too. You know your daddy Pumpkin too. I went to go see her and go take her shopping. When I get to the door, Kendra, she's in her clothes, her bathing clothes. Her bedroom clothes. I'm like, baby, why are you not dressed? I come look in the room. She had this boy, her spending the night. Her mother was allowing her to sleep with this man, unprotected, in her own house, knowing what could happen. She literally poisoned my daughter. See, we don't want to talk about this stuff, Kendra. We don't want to talk about the black women that are jealous of their black daughters for their youth and beauty and poison them. See, we're going to get real here. I'm that guy. You got the wrong one on here, not you specifically, Kendra. I want you to know I'm not never
This man is full of talking points. I'm sorry, y'all. Full of talking points. This is how we hear it. When I hear men say this kind of stuff, you sound like a raving lunatic. Listen to how he's talking. Listen to the points that he is making. The points he is making, I have heard men on the panel say this same stuff. Just because it's coming from this man doesn't mean that we've heard this. I've heard all of this. By being in this space, I have heard all of this. This is how it sounds to us. It sounds like a raving lunatic. When we hear a man say, we don't care about your job. We don't care what she makes. She's going to do it the way I want her to do it. This is how boss chicks sound. But that's how it sounds like a raving, even from you guys who say it on the panels. You sound like a raving lunatic when I hear it. That's what it sounds like. This is what y'all sound like when y'all say this. Okay? This is what it sounds like. This is a lesson. This is a lesson with the men that are listening. You need to listen to if you agree with any of these points that this man is saying, you need to listen to how that sounds. It sounds to us women like you a raving lunatic. That's what it sounds like.
Speaking specifically to you, I'm just talking to you. You got the wrong one here. I fought for my daughter in court. Them white devils wouldn't even give me an opportunity to be a father. I told them blank them and stepped. She did everything in order to undermine me, in order to see her daughter fail, and she couldn't wait. And I, for one, can't be happier to see that my daughter rose above it. I'm so proud of her. I'll hate her mother to the day I die. And that's what it is. Do I hate her mother? No.
Do you love your daughter more than you hate her mother? That's the question. Do you hate the mother more than you love your daughter? That's the question people need to be asking themselves. When you get on here or you get anywhere and you start saying, I hate the mama, I hate the daddy. Do you love your kid more than you hate that man? Do you love your kid more than you hate that woman? That's what it sounds like you're raving lunatic. That's crazy to me. That I would hate the mother more than I would love the kid.
No, I pity her mother. That one, I hate her guts, and I wish nothing but the ill will on her.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Have you ever gone to therapy, sir?
That's a great question. No, real men don't go to therapy. Yeah, that's another thing, Kendra. I take my problems to the creator. I don't go to therapy. I don't go spilling my guts. If there's pain, if there's something that I need to address, I address it with the creator.
No disrespect, sir, but the creator is not going to help you with this. Something God helps the people who help themselves. You need help.
But I don't forgive or forget. I'm a man, Kendra. I'm very stoic. I'm just being blunt with you on your platform and giving these clowns, these silly cousins that you have, exactly what they were looking for. These weak black men who gossip like women, who think that it's okay to, man, you can tell a woman how you feel, and it's okay. Everything is feel, Kendra. That's the word. Feel. You a sucker, dog. I don't go to my daughter with feelings. I don't come to my woman with my feelings. I'm coming with results. So
now we know these are the candidates that come on Kendra G show. I'm not saying all the people that come on Kendra G show need a mental health check, but damn near close to a lot of them need a mental health check. This is a case study for real, for real.
The woman that picks me, she's picking a winner. Regardless of my current circumstances, Kendra, I'm going to win. And like I said, once again, I'm not going to get all the way into it. But when I pop back up on you, if you'll allow, respectfully, you're going to be like, man.
You're awesome. I want to say this. I want to see you do well in life, right? So I don't have any ill will intentions.
I know you don't. I know you
I would
don't.
love to see you go off in life and do better. You're changing your life around. I do want to say this. I've been meaning to say this. I don't agree that Black women don't like to see you be a father to your child. Black women love to see men father their child.
Kendra, respectfully, I have Kendra. I'm not being disrespectful, but you don't know what you're talking about in this regard. Only because I'm living it. Kendra, you would be surprised at the Black women that have tried to undermine me with my daughter. I literally had CPS call me earlier today. Kendra, they do everything, and I'm not gonna get into it. And I still love Black women, and that's the thing. I'm so real. I'm not bitter.
What do you mean? Only Black women saw you with your daughter? Only Black women? That baby is half white. What do you mean? Only Black women? See, this is a thing against Black women. It ain't got nothing to do with them. It's a thing against Black women. You attracted to Black women, but you have an issue with Black women. The problem is, this is with a lot of our brothers. I'm attracted to you, but I have a disdain for you. There needs to be some help in the community if you can't respect all Black women and understand it's only a select few that have done you dirty. Not all of the Black women, just the select few that you have encountered. That's it.
I'm not a woman. I don't get bitter. I'm not jaded.
Apparently you are bitter. Apparently you are jaded. You're hysterical, just like a female. The fuck?
Still want a Black woman. I'm gonna get her. Like I said, I think I might know her. Shout out to you, baby.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Because we gotta.
Then why you on here? Ain't no way no female sitting out in the audience talking about, hey, yeah, he's shouting me out. He's shouting me out. But he on a dating show. Come on, y'all. And if you met her within the past 2 days, then she the goofy for believing you. Because she couldn't have known all of this.
We got a lot of super chats.
I figured.
All right, and we also I do want to get the other guests on the show. So let me go through these super chats.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
on my new phone, guys, so don't kill me if I can't see your question. This one says, 100% well-spoken, my good brother. Keep pushing the truth and power. Shouts out to you, Kendra, but the brother is on point. We real men only want virtuous women, not a boss chick. Marriage is the key to success.
And that's why I say, it's a lot of y'all out there. There's some mental issues going on. That shit don't work in the real world. I don't care what you say. You may be married, you may be with your person, but you don't talk that crazy foo-foo la-la to your wife.
Hey, listen, I totally understand. I'm not saying y'all have to.
God bless you.
Want a boss chick. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's no way you can support my show and diss boss chicks, because as a woman, I had to fight, as a man would say, to build this brand. So that's all I'm saying. If you don't want to marry, that's fine. But to act like you're not benefiting off of a boss chick, that's going too far for me. Because you would have had this comment to make if it wasn't for a boss chick.
Kendra, may I respond to that?
You can.
Okay. Well, first of all, I understand your story. I know you I know you started in Buffalo. I know that you went to Chicago. I know where you're from, and I know you specifically, but I've always followed your kids, and I have a lot of respect for what you've done. It's not necessarily that men have a problem with the money. It's the attitude that comes with the money. It's the sense of, you can usurp my authority, but yet you want me to put my life. Kendra, let me ask you a question. What do you think the number one role of a man is? Above all else.
There's a lot of things. I mean, provider always comes to mind first.
Okay. That would be wrong. The number one goal of a man is to bring order to chaos. Before God said anything, before he said let there be light, there must be order. So that means a man what? Must be in order with himself, with his creator. Get in line with that. Then he gets his woman in line. The children fall in line. Every race of people understand this, except these silly, dumb people over in this country who don't agree. That's because you're stupid. You're stupid, and I said it. Kendra didn't say it. I said it. You're stupid.
Well, I want to just say one thing real quick about the fall line. This is where it actually makes me sad, but this is where the disconnect, I think, happens with the Black community.
Yes,
what happens is this. Black women, especially if they have their own coin, right?
Yes.
Let's just go back in the day when there was a lot of things. I think Black men, or people have been cheating and other babies have been created for decades, right? But there was a time when women necessarily didn't have money, they didn't have the opportunity, and it was also frowned upon to leave your husband over cheating. Also, there was no social media. So even if your husband was cheating back in the 50s or 60s, you didn't have Facebook to document it and deal with the embarrassment component that will come with that. You didn't find out to the funeral. Also, there was a time when women couldn't even get bank accounts, right? So now as time progressed, women, we have been able to support ourselves financially. So when you have a woman who can support herself financially, the question then becomes, why would she tolerate somebody's bullshit, right? If hold on, I'm gonna let you respond.
Yes. Okay.
But so I feel like the challenges that men might have with a boss chick or a woman that has money, it's hard to control her because the leverage isn't there. A lot of times you guys control women through finances. This is no judgment. I'm not judging anybody, but if you have finances over a woman, how can she leave? She probably can't financially leave. So now you have a boss chick who can financially support herself if you walk out that door. So the question becomes, do I want to deal with this man who I might not be, who might be killing me spiritually? Like, yeah, you might provide, but am I dying inside spiritually being connected with you? So sometimes it's okay for a girl. No, not sometimes. I'm a person that will believe it's better to be healthy by yourself than to be attached to toxic and chaos.
Yes. Great point, Kendra. Here's your biggest. Here's where your argument is flawed, fatally. They're not you. Let me say this: y'all not Kendra. Daughter, cover your ears. You black bitches, most of y'all make $27,000 a year. You don't make no money. Okay, Kendra, I'm sorry. I apologize. Kendra don't like that, so I apologize. You don't make no money. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Kendra. They're not you. And so for the few successful black women who continuously talk this, these phony bras who come on your show talking about they make 100,000, it's all cap. It's all cap, Kendra. It's all cap. It's all phony. So they come on here saying these things. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. You want to go sweep? Okay. That whole I know. She love her daddy. Come on, lay down. See, look. I know. You want a bottle? Hold on, Kendra. Let me get her a bottle for 1 second.
Okay, while you get the bottle, let me get through some of these super chats.
Okay, go ahead. I'll listen.
This one said, Kendra, please add Russell or Zach to the line. I need to see him have a conversation with other men.
I mean, listen, if you think, first of all, I like Zach. Shout out to Zach Boog. I like Zach Boog. If you think a white man can tell me anything, you a fool. That part.
I want to try to put that. Oh, the baby. Yeah, I was trying. So something's going on with the super chats. I want to put it on. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. Kendra, please ask. Okay, I have learned this. I have Russell on the show, and one thing I did, and I love Russell, but I did learn that a lot of black men don't want to hear from Russell from this.
Let me tell you why, Kendra. I want to explain this specifically. Because you can't tell me anything when you haven't walked in my shoes. The opportunity, when you put it like this, if you're not successful when you're a white man in this country, you wasted your whiteness. Everybody knows a black man has to work twice as hard in order to get half as much. Kendra, let me say this. I've been paying for felonies that I did back when I was a teenager. A white man who was convicted of 33 felonies now sits at the president of the United States, and he never did a day. He never took responsibility for nothing. So people need to stop trying to act like, and I'm gonna tell you something else too, Kendra. If I were white, I noticed when Zach was, let me say this. When your man Russell is on here, I remember, oh God, they eat him up. But let me tell you black women something. He don't like you. He not taking you home. He not taking your loud, masculine, big mouth ass nowhere. He not taking you. I'm just telling you the real.
He got so much disdain for black women. Why do you want a black woman? If you have so much disdain for black women and you have so little respect for black women, why is it that you want to take one home? Why you want one to raise your daughter? See, that's just dumb. This dumb because you're a hypocrite. It's a hypocritical thing that you're talking right now.
The best thing you can do is be honorable, humble yourself, come back to your men. That's what you better do.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get some more, but can you understand how it would be a challenge for some of the ways you speak for a woman to accept? Because I think this is where the disconnect becomes, because no woman wants to feel like her husband is a dictatorship, right? And I feel like that's where men who are providers and leaders, and you want a woman who's just gonna listen to you, and that's how it comes across.
Yes.
And that's hard, and that would be hard for any human.
Yes.
Like, I know that you feel like that's what a man's job, but I'm just talking from a human experience.
Yes.
And again, I know that this relationship conversation has been taken over the internet, but I feel like, men, I want y'all to hear this. Yes. Women don't mind leaders. We prefer that, right?
No, you don't, Kendra. No, you don't. No, you don't.
But
no, they don't.
We don't like dictators.
No, you like to pick it. You want selective leadership. You want to, not you specifically, Kendra. Once again,
I understand what you're saying.
Women, okay. They want to twerk. They want to take hot girl summer and then come back. They want a sucker to pay. They want a sucker to foot their bill. They don't want a man, Kendra.
We ain't getting nowhere on this planet. We ain't gonna get nowhere. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. We ain't getting nowhere with that attitude right there. We ain't getting nowhere with that attitude. The attitudes that women have and the attitudes that men have, we ain't gonna get nowhere. Because when you come from the premise of when you come from the premise of black women are dishonest and disloyal, where do you go? If I know that that's the way you feel, why would I date a black man? Why would we get involved with a black man at all? Why would a black man get involved with a black woman at all? And yet, and still, that's all I hear people say. I want black woman. I want a black man. If you come to the table with this attitude right here, as a man, you come to the table with this attitude. Where are we going if you come to the table with this attitude? And I'm not saying he's the only one. I'm saying women too. But we're talking about him. He's the person on the chopping block. He's the person that is displaying all of this misogyny, all of this disdain. He's the one who's showing it. So we're talking about him and the way he says he loves black women, yet he's sitting here denigrating black women. That's denigrating black women when you say, no, she don't. No, she don't. No, she don't. Listen.
They don't want a man with structure and order.
No, we don't want a man with structure and order. We just want to be wild. We just want to do what we want to do. We don't want to get married. That don't even make no sense. We were born in this country just like white women. We saw all the Disney movies. We saw all of the marriages. We saw all of the things, the white dress and all of that. What the hell makes you think we don't want to have that too?
Who like, hey, look here, baby, we getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We going to go run. Hey, baby, listen, you can't sit around. You 180 pounds. You overweight. You know what I'm saying? Let's get you in that gym. I met a young lady, 26. Gorgeous young lady. Potential. And I like her. She's smart. She gets it. These women are trying. There's a lot of women several women hit me up that understand that, you know what? I need to get on a man's program, because I'm going to tell you something, Kendra. You don't have to ask no real man to provide. When these women come on here talking about they want a provider and a leader.
See, here's the problem. Most men don't have a program. That's the problem. You don't have a program. And a woman don't like to follow nobody who don't have a program, if that's the case. But this is not a program. This is what women say when they don't want to do the slavery thing. This is what they mean. This is what they mean. Because I asked two younger people, younger than me, that were 20 and 30, 22, 23 and 30. Do you listen to this or do you see this? The whole point is no woman wants to be felt as though she doesn't have any say. You cannot dictate to another human being. You can only control yourself. You cannot go into a relationship saying, I want to be the leader, and then you turn around and say, I got to tell her what to do. No, you came from the same shitty household as I. Single mother. You came from the same shitty house I did. Why the hell is it that you think you can tell me what to do and how to do it? And we come from the same shitty background. You don't know no more than I know. I don't understand where you get that you lead me when we come from the same shitty background. How you lead me, how you know what to do more than I know what to do. Neither one of us know what to do. So therefore, you can't lead somebody when you come from the same shitty background. When did you learn to be better than me? When did you learn to be? It's not like you. When? This is what women are saying.
I know they don't know what it looked like because that's baked into the cake. I literally was just yesterday. I went to go to the Nation of Islam service. Went to go chill with the brothers. Not a member, but I support the fruit. I like the brothers. Took my daughter. You know what I'm saying? You ask those Muslim sisters, do they feel protected by their men? You disrespect one of those sisters, them brothers gonna fall on you like a plague of locusts. Them brothers ain't playing about their women. Why? Because their women are in order. These black women are out of order, Kendra, but the woman I'm gonna get is not gonna be out of order because I'm just that guy. I'm not gonna let you be out of order with me. It's up for a man to get himself in order, Kendra. He has to bring himself. It's all his fault in this regard. I don't begrudge her for being out of order because if you let a woman run amok, if I let her loose in the house with a paintbrush, what I think she's gonna do? I can't be mad at her for running loose in the what? What I can do is set parameters. Pumpkin, put her in a
Yes, you set parameters. What you say is, I'm not going to accept fat women, and you don't entertain any fat women. She has to eat steak. You don't entertain women who don't eat steak. She has to be She has to be natural. You don't entertain women who are not natural. But what you don't say is, I'm going to get her and then tell her that she can't wear makeup. I'm going to get her and tell her she can't eat steak. That's not how that goes. It's not a matter of a woman getting on your program. It's a matter of a woman already being on your program before you get her. You don't make her get on your program. And that's the problem. You can't make someone get on your program. They're either on your program before or they're not on your program. If they're not on your program from day one, then you walk away. You don't get a woman. I'm attracted to you, so I'm finna get you. And then when you say you can't dress like that, that's not the way it works. You make sure she don't dress like that before she comes into your world. Not after she comes into your world and then you try to tell her what to do. It don't work like that. That's the slavery women are talking about. You don't tell me what I can do after we get together. You need to tell me before we get into this.
in a box. This what you can color. My job is to die for my woman, Kendra. I will die for my woman. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I'm one of them guys. So if I'm going to die and give my life up, as most black men will, we ask for submission. And that means when I say something, I get the final say. Okay, baby, that's it. And I'm going to tell you something else too, Kendra. I'm going to get some boss game up tonight. Do you really want to know who run the world? Take a guess.
I'll let you answer.
Okay, it's women. But not the women that they think. It's not these boss loudmouth trying to match energy women. I can match your energy. You can't whoop no man. You can't do it. Like, come on. It's the feminine women. It's the women who are so, and if she's so good, if she's really good, she know how to make a man do what she wanted to do and make it think it was his idea all along. That's the creator gave women that to combat our physicalness. No masculine man can resist a feminine woman. It's like bee to nectar. Kendra, it is. Have you ever noticed how, like, maybe when you were growing up, Miss Johnson would come down the street and all of a sudden the boys started to get it together. Everybody stopped cussing, cigarettes go out. people start pulling their pants up. Miss Johnson is here. She commands that respect. But these broads are ratchet. And any fool that link up with him deserves it, such as your luck. I don't have no Now, here's the thing. I don't begrudge a woman for getting what she wants. If you can find a sucker that's stupid enough to sign up for this bet, go get him. I don't. And when you crush that lane, which you will, you know what I'm saying, which you will, because it's in you to do it, he'll learn.
So I want to be respectful. I want to give you opportunity to express.
And I thank you.
That's why I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm going to go to these super chats. The only thing I say to that argument is that, again, law of attraction. So you men, like you're dissing women like your first baby mama. So at one point in time, would you say you were a ratchet man then?
Kendra, nigga out the streets. Kendra, Kendra, let me say this. That's why there's something called a lady in the. I think what we like to do is we want to try to act like there's an equal equivalent.
No. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is you're judging.
Yeah. I've been in the streets, Kendra. I've been in the streets since I was 12 years old, Kendra.
Right.
I've been in the streets
since
I was 12 years old.
I don't believe men and women are equal. But what I will say is I hear this, you're speaking a lot about people who you interacted with, right? Yes. At the end of the day, if your first baby mama is a woman you hate, you slept with her, you had a baby with her, you laid down with her. So that means you had to be equal to her at some point in time in your lifetime.
No, Kendra, that just means I was thirsty. That just means I wanted some box. That's what that means. Most men are going. Kendra, it's
okay.
Very few men are going to pass up on box.
Will go in a circle. Let's do this. Let me get these super chats because I do want to get to all these other people.
Respect.
All right, let me see. Something's going on tonight. All right, keep standing. This is a guy, I think. Keep standing on your truth. Work hard, respect humanity, and everything will fall in place for you. So he's the guy on your side.
Okay, thank you. And it's not my truth. That's a female. That's respect. I know you probably did with me that way. Ain't no my truth. Your truth subjective. I don't play them games. Ain't but one truth. But I appreciate you. Shout out to you, brother.
Now, I'm having a challenge, so I got to read them as I post them.
Okay.
He wants a black woman that he can unlive. Please save the baby from him. I've seen his case before. He has so much hate. He's evil at Hardy.
Yeah. And then once again, this is black women. This is.
You don't know whether that's a black woman or not. That's the problem. You don't know whether it's a black woman or not. You don't know that. You just assume that. And you just proved her point. You just have a misogynistic attitude towards black women. No woman worth her salt would be going over there.
Spook, gloom and doom. It's always this way. It's, drag a black man, you know what I mean? When he's standing tall, but any of them loser bras who you'd have picked come up here ratchet and all out though.
He said ratchet. Them loser broads
can come up here and say they want some nigga making $500,000 and everybody will applaud her. Yeah, baby girl, I'll holler.
Okay, this one says, I can't say the name. Classy and upstanding women don't want goons. We would never be able to bring him around our colleagues and company parties. Sorry, it is what it is.
Oh, that's a great question, baby. First of all, I dress like a million. Ain't nobody at your party gonna dress like this. I can talk politics. I can talk history. I can talk sports. I can talk. I've been around these people, and when I call myself goon, I want to specify that specific because I've noticed that I continue to get a few comments even from yesterday about it. I just mean in terms of my mindset, right? But I call because Gizmo I call myself the goon because it's kind of catchy. But I'm a man first, and I've always be a man, and black masculinity is important to me.
Okay. They love talking about white men, but love white women. He is talking about he loves black women, but talking mess from a shelter. Make it make sense.
We've been through that. You don't know a man that's realer than me. You don't know a man who has more.
Yeah, you're right. They said that Andrew, somebody who said that in the plumber, Tahilism said this sounds like Andre. It do sound like Andre the plumber. because I heard that he was broke the other day. I was like, how's he broke? He getting all this money. He got all this content and blah, blah, blah. What's going on that you would be broke? Which means you have that mindset already. You have that person, you have that mindset that keeps you broke, that keeps you on the criminal element, keeps you on the edge of your seat, keeps you on the edge of regular society. This is that person. He been out of jail since 2016 or something like that, right? 2016. Okay, so fine. That's about 8-9 years, maybe 10. I can't 8-9 years. You ain't got on your feet since then. You ain't been on your feet since then. Because you way down bad in a shelter right now. 9 years out from you being from out of prison.
Swag, who's been to places that I've been, who can move like I move. You don't know that. So my circumstances do not define me. I define me. Like I said, I'm taking care of a single daughter, a daughter that would not. You know what, Kendra? Let me say this. This is why I'll have to laugh at a lot of these silly people. Because if you notice something about your comments, never once did anyone say, shout out to the brother for trying to keep his own daughter out the system. These people are literally trying to take her as we speak. The only thing that's saving my daughter is me, right?
And we applaud you for that. We look at you. I applaud you for that. But you also have to change your mindset. When you have a child and you got to take care of that child, all that hatred and that misogyny and all of that resentment got to go out the window because you need to take care of a girl. You're raising a girl. You're raising a black girl. You're raising a mixed girl. I wish y'all would be conscious of the way you talk about women when you're raising girls. You denigrating women, you feeling this way about women rubs off on your daughter. Stops. I hope y'all hitting the like button. I'll be damned. I hope y'all hitting the like button. I ain't been saying nothing about that, but we bringing in some live content up in this joint. Hopefully y'all didn't hit the like button. Ain't nobody gave a super chat. Ain't nobody gave a thing. I ain't asking for nothing. Didn't nobody ask for nothing. Super chats are great. Cash apps are welcome. Ain't nobody gave me nothing. You can at least give me a like. Okay. And I get it. He trying to get his YouTube page off the ground, but you raising a girl. Be conscious of a girl. Be conscious of what you say when you're raising a child. And it's a girl. Okay. They hear that. They internalize that kind of thing. You don't get credit for doing normal everyday things. You're goddamn right. This is a normal every goddamn day thing for most people. You don't get A+. You don't get kudos for that. Just do your damn job.
Right? And I could have walked away just like that and kept doing what I was doing. But I made the choice. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made, because Kendra proved something to me that I've always known. I always can win, no matter the circumstances. My circumstances don't define me. I make my circumstances. I shape my reality. A man makes of Mars his own fortune.
Okay. Listen, there's personally, I don't want to see you do bad in life. That's not my intention.
They do.
I would love
Your
to
comments
see you
do.
No, we don't. What we're saying is this. You've been out of jail for 8-9 years. Why you ain't up and running? Why ain't you up and running? You said to us last show, I could have been doing something illegal. I could have been back in the feds. If you could have been back in the feds, that meant you still had that mentality to do bullshit 9 months ago before she fell into your lap. Because that's what you told us. You told us if she didn't come along, I'd be in prison, in fed. So that tells me you still have that mindset. What are you talking about? You talking like you're the man. No man worth his salt is doing the things that you have been doing and consider himself the man. And first and foremost, you went to jail 3 times, which means you're a dumb criminal. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense.
And winners do win. But we're talking, I guess, about the relationship space right now. Okay, this one says, well, your baby mama's white and she ain't about nothing. Clearly, you don't know how to pick them either way.
Yeah, bro. I done, baby, I done had so many women in my life, ups, downs. See, here's the thing, right? I want you to understand this. I can get it right a lot. I can get it right a lot later in life, right? And that's why I'll tell my daughter, don't listen to these silly women who talk about being independent. I want you to be interdependent. Let me put this, let's put this black word out there, interdependent. You dummies in the chat, go look it up. Interdependence. I want my daughter to understand that she's a part of a group and she has a role to play in the group. I don't want my daughter thinking that she does not need, grow up thinking that she does not need the very men that are to protect her. I'm 44 years older than my daughter, Kendra. I'm 44 years. Odds are I have less in front of me than I do behind me. What would I do to give my daughter the terrible advice? You don't need no man. We're so slow in this country, it makes no sense. And we wonder why we're at the socioeconomic bottom.
Well, again, I think this is going to be subjective. I already kind of expressed my thoughts on that. I think the issue is I think women would like men, but they don't want to feel like slaves. And there's a lot of times when you even said, because this woman didn't want a medium rare steak, you were pretty much over it. Instead of that could have been a moment where you could have just talked to her more about it. But because she had her own intention of how she wanted her steak, that turned you off. So there is this disconnect when men are saying, oh, women are saying they don't need men. That's not the answer. Now, I'm speaking in general, and of course, I'm not speaking for every woman. So I want to be clear on that. And there's some women that will go for your point of view and some will go for mine, either or. But I think women don't want to feel like their husband's a dictator.
Okay, and that's great, Kendra. But I want to say this: when the chips are down, when the rubber meets the road, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
See, you notice that. You notice
what was that?
You notice that he didn't say, "I'm not a dictator." See, if you were concerned about how you came across, you would have said, "I'm not a dictator. I'm not trying to dictate to her." That's why Kendra is right. No woman wants a dictator. No woman is going to deal with a dictator. You want the woman to stay with you. You want the woman to be happy that she's with you. Become a dictator and see how long that relationship lasts. Become outrageous with the demands that this man is saying and see how long your relationship lasts. It won't last. This is not how relationships work. This is not how they last, right? Yeah, he was here less than 48 hours. Yeah.
You good men, Jack Nicholson. And so these men are the very ones who you need. These men are the very ones that you black women need. But see, here's the thing. A lot of these women can't keep a man, Kendra. I had to drop one broad because she wouldn't make my plate. You ain't making no plate. What? Okay, don't worry about it. Like I'm not about to argue. Don't worry. And like I said, and I did try to tell her. I said, baby, that's not how you do that. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the way I like it. She was combative.
Oh, okay.
Kendra, she was combative. I don't let no woman be combative with me. I don't roll like that, Kendra. And any man who does is a sucker. There is no the inconsistent has no peace, Kendra, and nor can he be at ease with whom he concerns himself with. There's nothing inconsistent about me. My job is to be consistent and set the standard. I want structure in my home. I want structure with the people that matter. When you have that, you have the opportunity for greatness. You think I'm going to die and leave some broad who don't respect me a $500,000 insurance policy so she can go over to Dubai? What? Oh, I look like a sucker? Quit playing with me, Kendra.
Well,
when is she going over Dubai?
Okay,
what's going on with this?
Before we get to that comment, I so hate the topic of
this man is full of talking points. And the problem is he's 44, but he spent most of, wait a minute, let's put it into context, y'all. He became the age of 18. You really ain't got too much experience with women before the age of 18. Okay, so boom. Then he add 16 years onto that age of 18. That's 34. He's 44. He's only been in the world dealing with women really 10 years. Think about what I'm saying to you. He's only been in the world dealing with women for 10 years. Okay? Think about what I said. Before the age of 18, you probably didn't have that much experience with women. So add the 16 years he said he spent in prison. 16 years added to his 18-year-old self is 34. So he's 44. So from 34 to 44, he's only had 10 years worth of experience with women. And most of the time, apparently, this is what he's learned. Most of these people been out here longer than that, and they ain't learned half of this stuff. These are talking points. Okay? They're talking points. Because if you think the minority of women is supposed to be the whole representation of all the women, then you're the person that has the issue. Because there's a small portion of women who act like this. It's not a big portion. If you think it's the whole encompassing of women, then you need to get out more. Because all women don't act like this. The bulk of women don't act like this. This comes from his talking points that he's heard online. You know, I had never heard any of this talk outside of YouTube. I have never heard any of this talk outside of YouTube. And I've been on this planet 50 odd years and I ain't never heard this talk, because this is not how that works. This is not how the world works. And I hate to say it, but that is true. That's not how that works. It's not a matter of what you want, desire. This is not a success. This is not a road to success, the way he's talking. Okay? He's been out of prison how long? Why was he in West Virginia?
A woman can't keep a man. I think a lot of men can't keep women because they be the ones trying to get the woman back after she left. So if so much she couldn't keep you, then why are you still trying to get her back? Why are you still harassing her? Why are you still texting her? Or why are you still trying to show up? I think
that's a great question. I'm gonna get to that.
And then
that's a great question.
Why we gotta say kept? Like, no, you should want to be somewhere. This isn't, I don't want to keep you in a slate.
Right.
If you want to go outside, you should go outside. You know, like I think that this whole keep a man, I think a lot of men can't keep women. And this is why they're so irritated, because they can't get the woman that they want. Let's see if you get the woman that you want, because you said that you've been around a lot of women, but at the end of the day, you had a baby by a white woman who you don't want to raise your child. So I'm going to conclude that you never really had the woman that you can marry in the 44 years of your life. Yes, you've had women because you've had women, but did you have a woman that you would have considered to be your wife? Now, according to your track record, I'm going to just say no, because if so, you would have been married to her or have a baby by her. But instead, you had a baby by a white woman that you don't want to raise her own child. So help us understand how you got all the great women, but you ain't choose the right one to have a baby by.
Okay, you said a lot, Kendra, and I was you got to excuse me. Sometimes I get a little befuddled, and I wanted to address your first part, and then you threw the second part in there. I'll try to work backwards as far as the woman.
What's up, HQ?
I want her
eating it to you.
Now she's not capable, and so that's okay.
This is wild. Kendra giving him a whole show. 200.
You know what this exposes though, HQ?
What?
Kendra is all about drama, views, and clicks, and not really so serious about finding love and partnerships. She knew this guy. He came up there with that baby, and she made the reaction to it, and all this time she giving him. She all about the drama and views and clicks.
She know. That's why she went on there. She saw all the comments in the comment section from last night, from yesterday, from the day before Saturday. She said, "Oh shit, they talking about him. Let me get on here and do the reaction before other people do a reaction. So other people do a reaction. Let me do it." And then she got on there. First time in history, we done seen her do a damn reaction. What the hell you doing out here trying to do a reaction?
Right. That was
you doing the damn content.
Right.
Now she over here doing it. She over here responding to him again. I got to get some more content. I got to get them views up.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Her team, it was like, let him back up there. Let him talk.
Don't be hostile to him. Be real nice.
Yep. Let him talk. Yep. Yeah. They milking this for everything they can get.
Hell yeah, because they know people gonna show up for it. They know it.
It was up to me to do what needed to be done, and so that's. But
at the end of the day, out of all the women you have been in contact with, this is the woman you had a baby by. So that's accountability on
Kendra,
you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, Kendra, listen to me. I think I believe I accepted that. I don't run from none of that. She didn't have sex with herself. You know what I'm saying? I was the one who was running around, you know what I mean, putting my Johnson on.
Yeah, you got shitty choice. You pick shitty. Ain't that what men always saying?
I mean,
you choose better. No, that's the whole point. That exposes the bullshit when people say choose better.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this
choose better. Huh?
Oh, okay. No, I just was gonna say I get the gist of what you're saying. The thing is, he's like he said, he's been in the street since he was 12. So
did you see my math? Did you hear my math?
Yeah. And I agree with that math. So his experience is rather limited.
Right.
But I'll say this: any self-respecting woman.
You just died after you just went table.
Shout out to the young lady who just texted me. She said, if you ever decide to reach out to me, I'm deleting this profile immediately. Shout out to you, baby. Appreciate that. Here's the thing, Kendra. I wanted to get back to that first because I wanted to get. Do you remember what you said initially? Because I'm sorry, you were speaking about
keep a man. We were talking about keep a man.
Keep a man. Thank you very much. Kendra, it's not my job to keep a woman. It's my job to attract a woman. It's her job to keep me. Let me say that again. It's my job to attract a woman. She has to find me attractive. She has to find me debonair. She has to find me appealing. She has to, you know what I'm saying? She has to be willing to like some. And then from that, it's her job to keep me. That means she puts the work in to show that she is serious about me. Now, what happens is when she puts the pressure down, it's like, oh, okay, baby girl, she's serious. And I don't need a woman to buy me anything, Kendra. I want to say this 100%. It's not about, this isn't a financial thing at all. I just mean showing me that there's genuine interest. Like, you know what? You're the man for me. When you show me I'm the man for you, men tend to, and in the face of femininity, Kendra, I'm telling you, I'm giving you game, Kendra. I swear to God, there are very few men that can resist no man, because it's like, okay, baby, you got it. And that's the key. So when these women get caught up into these, I told my daughter, she was engaged for a little while. I said, Pumpkin, that's not good enough. You have to be serious. You really, shout out to you, baby. She said, hit me up when you get off the show. Shout out to you, baby. I ain't gonna put your name out there.
Okay, but talk fast because we gotta get to this and I gotta get to somebody else. But I just want to go ahead.
I apologize, Kendra. I know, you know what I'm saying. I think will probably be quite a while. Right. What was I saying? You got to excuse me.
Well, you were talking about keep. I think I want to just say this, and
whether men agree,
listen, whether men agree,
I know
or
something
not,
too. We gonna
there
wait.
are some women who value
I'm
peace of mind, right?
Okay, gotcha.
And if peace of mind means okay, I'm gonna be single and I won't get that guy, she will choose peace of mind over toxic, chaotic behavior for the rest of her life. And that's just real. And I'm not a person, I believe in relationships. So I want to say this. I believe in marriages. This show is responsible for marriages. I believe in babies. I believe in all those good things. But I believe in healthy healthy relationships. And if being single
what's toxic,
is
Kendra?
better,
What was toxic?
if being single is healthier.
If you don't understand, if he don't understand how this is toxic, if he don't understand why his whole behavior, the whole life is toxic, then he's not self-aware.
Yeah, one thing I noticed is he keep touching his nose. That's kind of a sign of a cocaine user, you know. Yeah. I got an eye out for these things. So, but
okay.
it's more I have to say to close it out.
Okay.
Than being attached to a human being that is causing you chaos, I would say it's better to be single. I wouldn't say it's better just to have a man, just to have a man if it's coming with a lot of chaos and toxic, because then you will have an early death. I don't know what happened.
What's toxic, Kendra, about what I said? First of all, black men die first. Black men die first of stress, hypertension.
Nobody asked you about any kind of stats. There's another side to those stats that you all keep spouting. The whole point is your whole life is toxic. Your whole life has drama in it. Nobody wants drama like this. Nobody wants drama like this. Nobody wants to deal with a baby mama that may come out the woodwork, a baby mama that you hate. Who knows? You might go and try to delete her. You just got out of prison. You only got 10 years worth of experience in relationships. You got a baby. You don't want nobody to bring no kids with you. What part of your life is not, and you talk ranting and raving in the middle of the night with the lights on with a baby? What part of this is sane?
Diabetes. So Kendra, let's not go there. This is black men are dying because of stress. I'm not stressed about nothing. I look like new money. So I'm not stressed about nothing. You know, man, you don't see me stressed about my current circumstance because I know.
I believe this is part of that jail mentality, that jail bird chest stuck out.
It's a level of that, but I'm gonna let it go ahead and ride before I go in.
My future look like. You know what I mean? So black men are the ones who are dying, Kendra. I'm glad you brought that up. The average black man dies at 67 years old, Kendra. Why? From stress. Because the world is beating him down. And don't nobody care. Don't nobody care about a black man being drugged through the mud. Don't nobody care. And so I'm here because I care. And so for those black men, for the black men who can take from here on out, let this be the template. Let me see you brothers come on here from here on out, just like this. Get your masculinity up, brother. Get off the internet. Get your masculinity up. Get in the gym. Get in the nose. Get your nose bloody. Start exercising. Get with other men and start to build in your community. Please get off the grid for a while. Get your masculinity up. Then come back and holler at these broads. They're gonna be all over you, dog.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through the super chats.
Yes,
I think it said, listen, for all the women in the chat that are hating on a good man, it's simply because y'all all lack understanding in what the brother is saying. And also, Kendra, don't consider yourself a boss chick. In my opinion, you are a queen with a splendor and character.
We understand everything that he's saying. We just can hear the jailhouse spin. He's been watching YouTube videos. He's been watching Fresh and Fit. He's been watching Fugazi. He's been watching all of those. And then he's coming out with all of these talking points. And you sound wild.
Okay, well, thank you. I don't, okay,
appreciate the comment. Thank you.
What I would say to this, my definition of a boss chick is a woman who's about her money and who built her brand. So this is why I will tell all women to have your own, point blank period, whether it be a disadvantage or not. I believe in having your own money. I was raised by both of my parents. Yes. And you said put you on to game. My daddy put me on to game, and my daddy raised me to be able to take care of myself. So he's like, whatever you want in this world, figure out a way that you can take care of yourself so you won't have to be under anybody's beck and call. And I also saw that. I saw women who had to tolerate things I would never want to tolerate because of financial purposes. Yes. I saw women who was tolerating things from men, and I would watch as a child, like, I never want to be treated like this. I never want to, and you know, these could be wives, you know, I'm not going to give our family business. Yes. But for me, I didn't feel as though they were happy, but financially they couldn't make a move. So for me, it taught me, okay, if I have my own money, I can have healthy relationships because now my livelihood isn't dependent on a man's income. So I suggest all women to have your own bank, figure out a way to make it for yourself, and then you find someone to enjoy life with. That's just my own personal advice. I know there's men that would disagree with it, but you know, that is what it is.
May I respond to that, Kendra, or are you just gonna keep
respond.
Going? Okay, because I know you said you want to kind of speed things up. I disagree from this standpoint here, because everything in this world is judged by the results. How has that information served you? Yes, you're successful, Kendra. We know that. And nobody's knocking you, Kendra. You know what I'm saying? You be on tip. You be turned. Everybody know that. And if you're knocking her for that particular part, then you a hater. Awesome don't do no hating. I'm just saying in terms of it makes for women for bad partners, which is the word I hate. You know, it makes for a bad girlfriend or a bad wife, because what happens is the money goes to a lot of women's heads.
No, it don't. No, it don't. It don't make for bad partners. The bulk of women have a job, so it don't make the bulk of women bad partners. You got white women who got job, Hispanic women, Asian. Every woman on this planet that's over and above the age of 18 got some kind of job or do some kind of work. So it's not, so that you can't say all of those women at work are bad bets. You just can't say that.
Did he say work or just boss chicks in general? Like, what did he say? I missed that part.
I don't know. I don't know whether he said boss chicks or what, but I'm saying not all boss chicks are like that. You're talking about a small percentage of women like that. And it has not. See, here's the thing. You men say you don't care about how much money we make, but you care about it when we make more than you.
I mean, the
chick, make more than y'all.
if she got money, I guess it all comes down to humility. You know, a woman could be
humility, and it comes down to whether you can tolerate a woman making more money than you. Because you can say it's humility on the female's part, but I can say that men have an attitude with a woman who make more money than she.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Uh-oh. We'll have to discuss that. I'm gonna
like all of a sudden, you're no longer fit to. A black man can't say, "Hey, baby, you can't go outside. That put that on." You know what I'm saying? You ain't dressed. You ain't, baby, you ain't wearing that out there.
And that's an argument I have right there too. You knew what I was like before I got with you. You can't now tell me I can't do something after we get together. If you knew I was doing it before we got together, that's not how that works. You accepted me when my ass was out before we got together, but when we got together, now you want to tell me to dress like a nun. That's not how that goes, and no relationship is gonna last.
You're doing too much. How you gonna tell me I make 200,000? What? And now you know what I mean? And listen, if some sucker guy want to sit up, now listen, there's a lot of black men who suckers. The majority of them. There's very few men like me. So I want to 100% say that we are in the minority in this regard. Hopefully it won't always be this way, but we are in the minority, especially men like me. So I know that there's more than enough opportunity out there for a woman to get a guy like that if she so chooses. The problem is you're not going to respect him. That's the problem, Kendra. You get a man that you don't respect. And then now because you're like, wham, I don't respect this guy, not because he don't have the money, but because he doesn't stand up, because he doesn't have and then so she continues to push.
And you see how that's situational? A man worth his salt and a man who gonna push back ain't gonna worry about how much money a woman is gonna make. He gonna be a man regardless of whether he makes less than her or more than her. And the minute she steps out of pocket and says, "I make more money than you," he gonna put her right back into her place.
Yeah, my thing is, like, I don't care what a woman makes, how old she is or whatever. I'm gonna always be the man in the situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying regardless of what money you make, you got to be still the man. And you have to put that out there. I don't care how much money I make woman, you don't run nothing over here. You running your mouth over here, and you need to be over there. HQ ain't never contradicted herself. I've always said that it's situational, depending on the human beings that's involved.
She continues to push, and now she's looking for you to stand, but she's broken him all the way down. There's nothing left. Now he's bitter because you have a lot of black men who are bitter. You know what I mean? Because that's why you see all of these. Let me shout a lot of these cornball podcasts. In some regards, a lot of you brothers are corny. Kendra do have a point in this regard. I'm talking about the ones that consistently complain about women. I'm not really into complaining.
Wait a minute. He been complaining about women the whole
really
time up here.
All night long.
What is he talking about? He need a mirror.
Night. Yeah, he been doing it all night long. So he trying to get his podcast off the ground. Something Gizmo and Goon or something like that.
I'm into making it happen. I'm not into complaining. I'm not throwing no names out there specifically. There are some that I do like. Shout out to the few that I do like. But I'm talking about to the one that complain. Everything is a complaint, and then they specifically put another race of women over black women. I don't like that. I don't support none of that, Kendra. Here's the number one rule in life. Y'all better listen to Awesome. Accept your own, be yourself.
But Awesome, I do want to get to the super chat. But you know you have a baby by a white woman, right?
Yes, Kendra, because I'm a goon. We've been through this.
What I'm just saying is this.
It doesn't matter whether she's white, black, Hispanic. It don't matter. He still got a 9-month-old child that he has in a shelter where they got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, tons of weirdos and everything.
Mm-hmm. All the people that's going. He's got a whole bunch of people.
I'm not going to
No, because here's the deal. I want to hear you, but you got to understand the walking contradiction that a guy would say. You're saying be with black women, but yet you have a baby by a white woman.
Yes, so, Kendra, because I'm saying, listen, Kendra.
Okay. I'm just saying, okay, but
right, I get it. You're not wrong. Kendra, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're just incomplete. Don't be me. Be better than me. I'm not trying to.
Okay, we're gonna have to do one-word responses. Okay, this one says,
be better than me.
Real men go to therapy. Second, you had a baby out of wedlock. So how do you dare call another child a bastard? Get yourself together before you attempt to date.
All right, great. Okay, let me get to that. Number one, my daughter's no bastard because her father takes care of her. Her father accepted her. Her father has signed her birth certificate, and she has.
That don't make sense, sir.
My last name. She was named by me, so she's my seed. I know you dummies out there don't understand this, but this is my seed. You just the incubator, baby. These are men's seeds. So this is a black baby raised by me, who my seed, I have deemed her worthy. So when her father deems her worthy, she is so. I'm talking about to these black women who got these bastards. I say the word again. I don't care if you like it either. Get your
bastard child was a child that's created not in marriage.
Yeah, they was, but
this is where it goes off the rails for real. That don't even make sense, sir.
Yeah, he wanted to make up his own definition. It's for a kid that's not in.
It's almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing because that don't even make sense, sir.
That therapy thing, though. That's up for a conversation, though. But I ain't gonna get into that right now.
There's another part to that Kendra that's missing as well. Like when you look up the definition of a true bastard baby. So it's not just that. It's a child it's an illegitimate child. Now, you know what I'm saying? That a man basically steps away from and says, hey, like, you know, big mama, like you were saying, our big mama got the kid, and you know, big daddy, you know, he got his little thing across the Kendra. That's always been the way. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's women. Women have to, this is why it's so important. I'll tell my daughter this, right. Baby, you have to be virtuous, because in the end, men are going to take whatever you offer. This is why daddy suggests don't never go in no man's house unless you're ready to go. You don't go in no man's house. I don't care what he say. I don't care if you need to use the bathroom, eat. You don't go in no man's house. Your daddy told you that. Why? Because you don't put yourself in compromising positions. Women have to become more virtuous, Kendra. If they become more virtuous, men rise to the level. You don't have this issue.
You see, this the wrong messenger. This is the wrong messenger. We and we understand the message that he's saying, but he has not lived his life like he's trying to preach. The same way Fugazi, I can't even look at Fugazi seriously. You understand what I'm saying, Lex?
Hey, don't they both had white girls, I think. But
yes.
yeah, I mean, which again, like, I'm not judging that. Shout out Reed Pink in the chat and everything. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Jay Tillman girl is white too, but yeah, like, yeah, he's just, he's just kind of all over the place. He's mixing a lot of truths in there. Right. Obviously, there's a lot of truth he is saying, but yeah, clearly he isn't the messenger.
But see here, we talking about men who are living a certain lifestyle.
Yeah, he not walking the walk.
You can't be out in the desert. You can't be out in the jungle shooting and robbing and deleting folks and then come back inside talking about I'm a gentleman with a suit on.
Yeah. He's not the correct messenger for this.
Right. All wrong. Yeah. He just all wrong.
It's just facts.
All right. This one says you don't get kudos for doing what you're supposed to do.
That's great question. Great, Kendra. Kendra, that's great. I got to get to that because I hear that. I hear that a lot. I always hear that from Black women that don't want to acknowledge me, but yet you want to condemn me. See, that's the phoniness, the two-facedness that they like to play. They want to hedge their bet. Kendra, how many Black men can you name that's out the street, changed their whole life overnight, and had their child since the very day their child came out, never made not one excuse, never asked for one super chat, never asked for one cash app, and went and picked up trash at Popeyes to put food in his daughter's stomach? You a clown, and you just hate Black men. Kendra, I'm telling you, if I was white, they would have put me on CNN and gave me a plaque. Let me have Ben Russell. But because I'm Black, you don't want to acknowledge me.
Oh, he going in.
And I hate you too.
Oh, that's wild. The whole just the vitriol. The vitriol. He got his daughter right there. He's screaming. He's hollering. He's in a shelter. What's going on? He's coming off the rails, and I get it. I'm giving you, my head is off to you, sir, in one regard. You did get your daughter. You are trying to raise your daughter. You are doing all of these things, but you ain't humble enough to be talking like this. You ain't humble enough to be asking for the stuff that you asking for. You ain't humble enough to have come from where you come from and then asking for the top of the line Black women. See the bullshit? Women get on here and ask for the bullshit. Here's a man asking for the same shit.
Hey, HQ.
What? Yeah, I hear you. Lex?
Once.
We didn't hear nothing you said. You disappeared.
But no, I'm just joking with you.
No, you disappeared. We didn't hear nothing.
Oh, hear me now?
You just went out again. I heard now, but that's it. Oh, okay.
Oh. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. Okay. What you say?
Okay. I was gonna say, the quote the great HQ. He's free to ask for whatever he wants. Don't mean he go get it though.
That's right. He's free to ask for what he wants, but this is a level of arrogance. Even you gotta admit is off the charts. Okay. We may have seen one or two of these people.
He is delusional. It's getting me because, man, he in the homeless shelter, like talking big talk. Like that,
big
you know
shit.
What? That takes a level of confidence.
Yeah.
He dressed up in a homeless shelter. He probably ain't even got no car. And just to have this level of smoke.
Right.
Man.
Right.
Okay,
this is a bold brother.
I think here's the
You women like
let me say this. I want to say this because I hate this. I hate this war that we have between Black women and Black men.
I do too. I do too.
Now, I have to say there's a lot of things I do not agree with what you said, but I can allow you, I can agree to disagree. I do want to see you do well in life. I personally, I know you are not into therapy, and I'm not even trying to change you, but I think that you are, there's a lot of trauma that you've been through.
Sunflower power. That's what I said too. He is in fact a dangerous man. I said the same thing.
That has made you this person, and maybe, and you enjoy being who you are. So what I'm saying may just go down like you said, a water off a duck's back. So maybe it doesn't matter to you, but I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. And I really do want to see you do the best in life. There's a lot of things I personally disagree with. And I would say this, you know, you mentioned a younger girl, 26. That was a super chat, but we didn't get, I can't go through all these super chats. We'll be here for another 2 hours. That's the same age as your daughter. So you want to date a girl that's the same
oh, no,
age
you
as
got
your
it
daughter?
right. You said you got to get other people.
No. What I was going to say is you said you want to date. I did want to say this because you said there was a 26-year-old girl that you're considering, and your daughter's 26. So you want to date a girl the same age as your daughter?
Well, yeah, I would date her. Absolutely, I would date her. I'm not gonna let her age disqualify her. And Kendra, I want to say this too. It's so much. Kendra, if I ain't got so much trauma, how can I take care of my daughter with such a loving hand?
Because it's restrained hatred for other people. It just is what it is. You'll snap in a minute. We've seen the evidence of it on here.
See, Kendra, here's the
you
thing.
Can
right?
have you can be loving and have trauma.
Kendra, let me tell you something. I'm a man. I'm a man. Men push through. Men forge through fire. Life is all about trauma. There's no being great, Kendra, without being forged through fire. Every great man that I admire has been through trials. Attila the Hun, King Harold Hardrada, Genghis Khan, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm X, Dr. King, Muhammad Ali. Every great man that I admire has been through Jesus. Every great man is going to be he's going to be tested.
Right.
So that's because the test is to let you know if you truly belong. That's the test. Are you really worth? I failed a lot of tests, Kendra. I want to say that.
Sir, I would say
a lot of tests.
That's just a bunch of word salad for real.
He is. Whew. Go ahead, Ty.
He named all of those men, but those men got their shit together before they started telling people advice and giving people game. They got their shit together. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ. These people ain't just come out of jail from a shelter and start preaching. He and that's the thing, you know, he been in jail, he been locked up, he been reading, he probably had a phone, he been fresh and fitting it up. So he regurgitating talking points. Now, some of them talking points do be real. Like you said, you ain't heard them until the internet, but I tell you, growing up, especially in a barbershop and stuff, men talk like this. I used to learn a lot of game young from older men at the barbershop, my uncles and stuff, but it wasn't like social media spread it. Not everybody get to see it and hear it. A lot of these people don't know what to do with that type of information because they don't have the life experiences to validate what's real and what's fake. They just going off of what they heard. But
I'm saying to you, show me somebody who has a successful marriage that believes this.
I think Anton Daniels is a good example. A lot of people don't like him.
Anton Daniels is a clown.
He be saying some real shit. He married and he's successful.
Yes,
I
think he's a fake. That's just my opinion.
Why you think he fake?
Because no woman would put up with the way he talks.
His wife be in all his videos.
I've been over there. I've seen him, but I ain't seen his wife on camera after he said black women are the worst person that walked the face of the earth against black men. I don't think she was there when he said that.
Yeah, see, I never heard him say that before.
He said the worst thing that ever happened to black men is black women. That's what he said. And I said, ain't no way your wife sitting right next to you and she heard that. And,
I would need the whole context of that conversation
he
though.
was on a panel. He was on a Lapeef panel. This happened about 2 years ago. He said this on a panel. I mean, just went in on black women. Black women ain't no good. Black women, they dishonest, they disloyal. They ain't no good for the black man. Ain't no black man saying that, and his wife sitting right next to him. And if he is saying it, that means he's a clown. That means he's lying. That means he's putting on a facade for his woman. I mean, for the audience.
A lot of these dudes with these talking points need balance. Like you can't be extreme left or extreme right with shit. You gotta having life experiences give you balance. Like, yeah, a lot of women ain't shit. A lot of niggas ain't shit. But when you take these talking points and you got experiences with different people, you see the type of people to avoid, women or men, that's how you get to vet and that's how you get to pick what you gonna accept. Like, yeah, you can't just meet a stripper and tell her to start dressing conservative, but you could tell a woman because you know people you start learning people over time. So yeah, you know your girl, the girl you vetting and dating might be conservative. Then one day she might come out with them cheeks out. You be like, hold on, I ain't never seen you dressed like that. I don't like the or she finna go on a girls trip. That might come up. You like, you know what? Nah, y'all ain't you ain't going to the Bahamas with your girls because all of them are some little thought bops. And you put your foot down and you show them like that's my boundary. That's what I don't do. If you gonna do it, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean that's something that happens if you've been married or you've been in a relationship for a while and then they change up on you. That's a different story. But if you already met her and she had her cheeks out, you can't definitively be on the side of the right and tell her she can't do it if she did it before she met you. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying if it's in the confines of a relationship, okay, but not if you met me like that. Then that don't even make no sense for you
But
to tell me something like that.
But then that comes on the dude. A lot of these dudes is goofy. If you meet a chick with her cheeks and her titties out, you don't pursue her to be a wife. You smash them cheeks and you say, "This my little sexy thought, Bob. I'm gonna hit her up to clap cheek." You find you the conservative chick that you like, oh yeah, I could date her. That's what the life experiences come from, like knowing.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different type of people out here, so you gotta be able to. I think a lot of these dudes don't touch no grass, but they watch YouTube all day,
You
and
can't
then
you
they
can't do
just
that.
get to spouting all of this bullshit and
You
thinking
you
that
get if you watch YouTube all day, you get this right here. No practical. Wait, did you see my math, Ty Pro? Did you
mm-hmm,
hear my math?
mm-hmm,
18, put the
yeah.
16 years he been in prison,
That,
34, he's
that was
44.
that was some real shit because I know a lot of people. I got a lot of family that's in and out of jail. You could
Right,
tell when they
right,
like they stuck. When you go to when you do a bid, you like in purgatory. You separated from Earth. You
right.
in a whole nother
Mm-hmm,
realm, and
mm-hmm,
you may be able to read. Like it depends, because some people could do that time and they could read and they could
mm-hmm.
work out and they could come out and they could catch up. Some people can't catch up.
Right,
But a
right,
lot of people, they just come out and they that same. If you go to jail when you're 21, you come out when you're 31, you still 21, 22 years old.
right.
And then it's up to that person to be able to catch up and
Mm-hmm,
mature. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
So
He's got
yeah,
10.
you right on that.
We looking at him. We can see the 10 you had 10 years worth of experience. You see what I'm saying? 10 years worth of experience, and you haven't been in your 26-year-old daughter's life except maybe 10 years. Because you had her when you were 18, 19, right? That's what he said. So
Yeah.
therefore, you only been in her life 10 years. So she's only known you for 10 years, right? And you've only had experiences and relationships for 10 years. And now I can tell that he's been on the internet listening to the talking points, doing the whole thing. And now this is what he's asserting. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. What I am saying is this is not going to work for the bulk of women. It just won't work for the bulk of women. We just come too far to do that, what he's saying. and he can't ask for what he's asking for because he's not a morally, he can't stand on the moral high ground, and he keeps going to the hill, but he can't be the one that's on that high ground. He just can't, because he
No,
has, he just can't.
because dudes like him, it's a lot of men I'm noticing that get these points and think that, oh, I'm just a man, so I'm the man, and it don't work like that. You gotta like be a man on your purpose, and a man you got when you grounded in what you supposed to be doing as a man, it speaks for itself. You can't be up here with your daughter in the shelter and think just because you threw a suit on, people supposed to listen to you and you some type of man. It ain't about being high value or none of that. It's just
Right.
about like you should be as a man, if you really walking it like he's talking it, he wouldn't even be on Kendra G's show. He'd be trying to get his bag right.
Right.
And then he'd be coming up here like, yeah,
Right.
I was in a shelter, I
Right.
did this and that, but I got these results.
Right.
As a man, he should know results is what it's about. It ain't about all this yapping and shit. That's internet shit. He too old for that internet shit. And Tehillism made a great point. She said, what about clubbing? Do y'all still, just stop going to the club after y'all get married?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all both go into the club and you met her in the club and y'all, like, I know people my age that still hit the club every week. I don't go to the club. I hit bars and lounges and shit. But if you with a chick that's what y'all do, it's up to y'all to grow out of that. Now, as a
Right.
man, you might grow out of that and she still want to be in a club. So
Right.
that's a conversation y'all gotta have. Like, you know what? I'm tired of hitting the club. You can't go to the club all the time. You gotta show her like we ain't going to the club tonight. We finna hit the cigar bar. We finna hit the casino. You as a man, you know how to lead your shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people just not gonna rock with your leadership and you gotta leave them. You pull up to the port and tell them get out, you know what I'm saying, and keep on going. But
Right.
yeah, he can't be up here talking from the shelter and thinking anybody gonna listen to him.
Right.
Because a lot of these talking points are valid, but it's the people that's talking them that's fucking them up. Like
Right.
Fresh and Fit. Them two goofies was clowns. I'd never watched Fresh and Fit. I
Mm.
watched them for 2 minutes and knew they was some fucking clowns.
Mm.
And then they crashed. That was before they crashed out and lost their platform.
Right. Right. Let's finish.
So I don't know all
I think you should be
the
done
traumatic
soon.
things, and then you've probably been through more, but you shared that your dad killed your mother. That's
Yes.
traumatic. That's
Well,
a
yeah,
traumatic experience.
Well, yes, Kendra, but here's the thing. I have to understand something else. God said God's not emotional. I want to 100% say this. God is not emotional. He giveth and he take. He said, this is your time is up. That's what he said. Now, yes, I miss my parents. I would love to be able to buy my father a nice suit, especially when I was some of the days I would have nice things and how I would think about how he did not. I would love that. I would love to be able to give my mother some of the things that she never had. I never had that opportunity, right? So what I'm trying to do is somehow regain my humanity and my soul through her. Well, I did that terrible, Kendra. Well, she's over there behind me.
Well, what about why not? Okay, well, listen. Okay, so awesome. You are on the app. You said women are reaching out. I gotta go. Let me get to these other people who are also looking for love. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
You would. I mean, and you didn't come for me, so that's fine. So I just think that I wish you well. I pray for you, and I pray for the woman that signs up for you, because that's you. You are a lot, and maybe there's a girl that would see this, but I have to. I'll be quite honest. I would not recommend anybody I knew personally to date you.
And Kendra, and first of all, I appreciate you putting a disclaimer. I know that at the end of the day, you cannot subscribe to anything that I say. I get it. It's the way things are designed, right? But I will say this, and I'd like, first of all, I want to thank you for having me back. You had me once, and then you had me again. You accepted my invitation, come back on. So I want to thank you for that. Shout out to my girl Figgy for, you know what I'm saying, for putting this super chat out there. Because, you know, I wanted her to know that I will be back on. I couldn't see what you were saying. And I wasn't even. I didn't even watch it because I didn't want my.
All right, but let's
thoughts to
back
be
it up.
tainted.
Awesome. This is the last final moment. What you got to say?
Okay. I want to, well, like I said, shout out. I already shout out, and I want to thank you. And I want to thank the Black women, men and women that did reach out. I want to, you know what I'm saying, whether you like me or dislike me, everything I said cannot be disproven, right? You might not like it. You might not have liked my delivery, you know, such is life. But I didn't tell any lies. There's nothing phony about me. I don't cap. I've really been where I've been. I really am where I am, and I'm really going where I'm going. And shout out to the women who appreciate me and who enjoyed it. And I hope you Black men can really get your masculinity up, because we suffer, and that's the reason why we suffer, is because we don't have enough Black men who act, move, and behave like men. So our community suffers as a whole, and that's the issue. I wouldn't ever want that long term for my daughters.
Okay. All right. Well, I wish you the best.
Thank you, Kendra, and I wish you the best as well. And thank you very much for having me.
Okay.
Shout out.
And that's crazy. That whole thing is crazy. That whole thing is crazy. Nothing wrong with it, but that whole thing is crazy.
And you're trying to run them numbers up for real, with them titties busting out the rapper.
Oh, then let me read these. I got to hit the, oh, wait a minute, what is it? Repink, thank you. Remember, for 3 months, hit the like button, thank you. Then we got Divine Photos, $1.99, spread the love. And then we got Mr. Gino, $5, HU. Thank you very much, sir. That was a lot. That man was a lot. It is what it is. That's just too much. He was asking for, I mean, I get it. Here's the thing. We can all ask for what we want. We can. But that don't mean you're going to get it. Everybody can ask for what they want. And he just might get it. But the whole point is, what he's asking for is way above and beyond what should be coming his way. And I tell you the difference. The difference is, when normal, everyday, goofy women off of Kendra, they got a baby, and you're asking for, you're a regular man to get married and do whatever. This man is asking for a woman who don't have no kids. He want a woman to pull her into his bullshit. 26 or young, 36 or younger. Deal with his past, knowing full well he won't be able to make enough money, capable of making enough money to support a family. You already know you got to work. He don't want you to bring no kids with you. Okay. There's a lot of things that it's a different story when you're asking for one or two things that look like they out of the realm of possibility. But when you're asking for 5, 6, 7 different things, he's asking for 5, 6, 7 different things that should be out of his reach because of the way his life has unraveled, the way he has kept or conducted his life. How do we know you don't have random children out there already still? You said you don't like Black women, but yet and still you have a disdain for Black women. We could tell by the way that you talked that you had disdain for Black women. You all please hit the like button, coming in and out. Please hit the like button.
A lot of these dudes be taking their aggression out on their results with Black women on these platforms. You know what I'm saying? Because just like Black men are the monolith, I don't think Black women are either. I don't think no women are. And I think that it's more of a modern problem than a Black woman problem. And I got 2 kids, and I don't seriously date women with kids because I know I'm not a stepfather. So
yeah, I mean, if you know you're not that, if you know, I don't date. I'm the same way, Type Pro. I don't date men who have children under the age of 21 or 18. I just don't date men like that because the money that you and I make, I want us to spend it on me and you, not on you paying child support. So I automatically cut you off if I find out you have kids under that age. So that might be a prejudice. I might be wrong, but that's the way I want to conduct it and be that way. So I get it. When people say they don't, I'm not going to be mad at you saying that you don't want to date a baby mama. I get all of that. And but I'm saying him, it's a different thing. He has to,
he don't got the resorts to like
demand that. Right.
If a woman come into my life, I don't have to be on her head about this, that, and the third, because she gonna see how I handle myself and how I keep my house, my structure, and my standard. And then it's like, can you come in and maintain this? I'm single. I cook, clean, work, take care of my kids, take care of my hobbies, and do this and that. So it's all about how you carry yourself. And I think a lot of these men need to get off of YouTube and just get more into what they need to. Like he was saying some good stuff, but he just not the one
You just
to
not the
be
one.
saying it.
Right. It was just like, are you serious? You just know you're not the one. A single man who doesn't have kids can make these demands. You can't make the demands with your past the way you have done. And it has nothing to do with his daughter being a child of I think of the child as black. The child is black to me. That's the way. If you have black in you, to me, you're black. It is what it is, and I'll accept it accordingly. The whole point is he's demanding things that a single man who doesn't have children would be demanding, would have enough gumption to demand, right? And so he's and you have a shady past, and you have shady whatever. You've been out of jail since 2017, and you still working at a pizza joint. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that piece of joint shit took me out. But men supposed to be forged by fire. Like I've been through a whole lot, but it's about growing up and
Oh
getting on
yeah,
your
wait a minute.
square.
Hold on. He did say he shanked somebody in. He did say he shanked somebody in prison. He stabbed him in the eye or something. Like what?
He was in there stabbing motherfuckers up. So he needs some therapy and some money before he
Right.
even think about
Right.
showing his face online and starting a podcast. Like
And
you
Kendra is the one who brought him to us because she wanted the money. She wanted to get the fame and the fortune. See, she was trying to beat the rest of us out. I know
yeah.
what she was trying to do. She was trying to beat the rest of us who do content, who do reactions to him. She tried to beat us all out. But I
But
knew the game.
she just making more content to react
I
to. That's
know.
you know.
No, I was like, I was doing something today, and I heard for some reason it jumped on my phone. Her Kendra G doing some kind of. I flicked on it, and she said, "I'm doing a reaction." I was like, "Oh no, she won't. You ain't finna take my shine. You ain't finna do that." And you invite him on for the night. You invite him on tonight, and you finna try to take the rest of our shine because you didn't see too many people doing reactions to it. I was right on top of you that reaction. You ain't finna burn me up, and I got a reaction, and I'm finna put this one up too.
You jump right on it. That's how you
I
supposed
know
to
what the
do it
hell.
though.
But he
Jump right
gave
on
good
it.
content. He gave good content, and I get it. She's trying to make money. He put himself out there. He did. These are things that a single man you would not blink an eye at and say, okay, a
I
little
like when
tweaking in there, huh?
I like when, we get a lot of women coming on Kendra G show. I like when the men come up there and show their ass for us to break that down and talk about because it helps separate like the men because we not all like this. We not all like no fugazi and all of
Right.
that. Like
But
it's a
look,
lot of stand-up guys who really on top of their game,
right,
who can talk
right.
them talking points
Oh
and
hell yeah!
walk it and live it.
There's plenty of decent men who you bring it, and you got the bona fides to back it up. You bring all of that. You see how Kendra, but see what I really didn't like. This is what I really didn't like about this. You remember the last guy Kendra did an interview with, that light-skinned guy with them braids to the back? He was a content creator.
Yeah, he was from Detroit.
And he was a content creator. You see how she reamed him out. Just kept reaming him out. Why you didn't do the same with this guy right here? Why didn't you call him on his bullshit right then?
She trying to leave some room to she made a lot of mistakes with like Papa Dan. She made a lot of mistakes with men, so she probably trying to do a little PR, a little cleanup. Like, all right,
Right,
I don't
right,
hate black men. Look, I
right,
can look at this Pookie I ain't cutting into,
right, right,
but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the same. Like
right,
he can't really. You can't just keep putting these piles of crap in front of us and thinking that that's gonna pass. We need more black men who show healthy black masculinity.
right, right.
Uh, like with my man's the new black Captain America. I forgot his name. The actor who was up
Yeah,
there.
I forgot his name. I know who
Yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah.
he was talking about how he raised his kids and raised his men to be
Oh,
men,
I
and
believe
that's what
it.
we
I believe
need.
it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe everything he said. I put a stamp on it. Everything he said, because that was how my father raised our my brothers the same way. This is how it goes. This is where it goes. This is, you're in charge of this. You're in charge of that, and this is the way you grow up. I 100% stand behind what he said, and I understand why he said the way he said what he said. Right.
Yeah,
And a lot of people got offended by it. I didn't see nothing to be offended, but as soon as I heard it, it was just like second nature to me, because that's the way I was raised. That's the way it's
yeah.
supposed to be,
And
right?
and and that's what we missing a lot, especially, I'm from Detroit, so especially in these inner cities, we missing strong black masculinity
Right.
because I think I'm a firm believer that children need structure and discipline,
Yes.
and I think that women are attracted to positive masculinity. Women gonna test a man to even see. Oh, your woman
Right.
might throw the little booty shorts on just to see if you gonna tell her that ain't acceptable.
Right.
And they like that, like, okay, yeah, he ain't going for anything. I can't just walk all over him. I can't just step all over him.
Right.
Now, if you get to raging and cussing her out and getting emotional about it, now
Right.
you showing her you insecure and you weak.
Right.
So it's just about it's not about just regurgitating what you see on these podcasts. It's about internalizing what it takes to be a strong man, and
Mhm.
not having a father in the house is not an excuse no more because we
Right.
got the tools. We know what
Mhm.
we need to do. I'm
Absolutely.
not I can talk shit all day about black women doing this and that, but
Right.
I'm gonna hold the fire stronger to black men. Like, look, if you're not happy with what you getting, shit, you need to look yourself in the mirror and tighten up.
Right. Right. I
And
mean,
then you could pick and choose who you deal with and what
right.
you deal with, what you said.
Right. I mean, I believe in, I don't believe it's toxic masculinity bullshit and that kind of thing either. I believe I believe there's good people. It's the bulk of us good people in the middle. We just need one or two tweaks, and we could make it different. It just happens to be the loudest ones that are talking are the ones on the outside saying the crazy things or the most outrageous things, and they're influencing us in the middle that are everyday average Joe Blow. Ain't nothing weird or ain't there's nothing weird or outrageous about what I think and what I feel. I'm a normal everyday individual human being. If you come and you're direct and you're honest and you want to get married and you want to build a life with HQ, I'm more than willing to do that. More than willing to do that. We'll stay faithful. We'll do all of those good things that you want me to do, right? But you have to be the same way. You have to come to me correctly too. So I'm not gonna be. There's nothing unusual about wanting to be in a relationship. We want to be in a relationship. I believe there's normal everyday people. The whole point is, are you doing the things you need to do in order to be in the position to be a wife? Or in a position to be a husband. This man right here is in no position to be a husband because of the life choices that he made prior to this. We can't trust his life choices.
And he
He's putting it he's putting it to us like we can, but he hasn't had any evidence in his life to show us that he can. You see
yeah,
what I mean?
he can't lead nothing from no shelter. Like you can't build you can't ask a woman to come in your life and you gonna leave her and you fucked up. And
Right.
then you just supposed to like she come with her own crib and car and stuff, and then you coming out the shelter, coming in her house trying to run something and
That
dictate.
might be what he's taught. That might, but see, here's the
That's
thing.
definitely what he looking for. He either looking for that or a quick check. And it
Right.
just don't work like that. It
He said he
and
was a provider, but if you're a provider, how are you in the shelter looking for someone to provide for?
And he talking about he was working at Popeyes and doing it. Why you not getting a trade? Why you not doing something with your selling
Because
industrial
you can
pieces
have a
and shit?
felony. You can have a felony and drive trucks. You can have a
Uh,
felony and do a trade, electrician, HVAC. All of these things. You can get a trade, a welder. You can learn a trade and make good money.
yeah, I'm a truck driver. I work with a bunch of felons. I teach all my in and out of jail cousins. Go
Mhm,
get you a
mhm.
trade.
Right.
Working at McDonald's, excuse me, I'm sorry. Working at McDonald's and doing all that dumbass shit ain't going. Yeah, if you need to check, you need to check, but you should be focused on
On getting more
getting
than
some
just that
real paper.
McDonald's.
Yeah, it's some opportunities out here. And as a man, you got to get out here and hunt.
And
You can't
here's the
just
thing.
be,
Here's the thing. He's gotten out. He got out at some particular. I don't know when he got out, but he should have been on the ball when he got out. This is what I need to do. This is where I need to go. Blah blah blah. Instead, he's worried about getting a woman, which tells me he's trying to get somebody to support him before
yeah,
he's on his feet, and that
yeah. Like I,
ain't.
like I said, he doing this shit backwards. So he was
Mm-hmm,
naming all of them black men that
mm-hmm.
he look up to, but they weren't. Yeah, we know Malcolm X was in and out of jail, Detroit
Right,
Red, but
right,
he got his shit together, and then he went out in the world and started being successful. You can't,
right,
you got to go get them results. You know what I'm saying?
right.
He ain't doing nothing but talking. He
Yeah,
ain't worried about
I
doing
believe
nothing but
he's looking
talking.
for a woman to help him do whatever he needs to do. I need somebody to come over here and take care of this baby while I can get out here.
Yeah.
And I got no. See,
Yeah, it don't work like that. You
it's
gonna have to take that baby to school with you and get that
right.
trade. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? You could put the baby in the truck with you and do what you gotta do. Go out here and
right,
get that bread. It ain't no
right.
excuses.
I mean,
And then
can he take the child on the road with him in the truck?
if he got to, yeah, I see people do it all the time.
Oh,
It's definitely safe and suitable. Shit, my son 5. I
mhm.
done, you know what I'm saying, scooped him up and rolled with him. I done scooped my daughter up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do out here. And as a man, that's when you're gonna get the respect. You
Okay.
don't get the respect from just, yeah, women should do this, women should do that. You get the respect when you got your results. You get the respect when you get show and prove, and then you can get up here and say whatever you gotta say, and people
Yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that
Dude
shit from the
wilding.
shelter.
Dude wilding, boy.
Tripping.
You
He tripping. But I called it when you first showed his video.
wildin'.
5 minutes watching, I'm like, yeah, he just came home
Hmm.
and he broke. You could tell just 5 minutes of him talking. He ain't even have to tell us his life story.
Right,
You just came home and you broke. Cause I see dudes like that all the time.
right.
And niggas like him gonna be in that suit on the fucking corner begging.
And that's the whole point. The whole point is you've been out for a while. So why haven't you figured out that you need to learn a trade? You need to do something in order to support you and that daughter. You're in a shelter now, which means you don't make enough money, which means you haven't thought. See, I wish Kendra would have asked him, are you in school? Are you trying to learn a trade? Are you trying to do anything like that to get you, to do something? See, but hey, she didn't say it. She wasn't even interested in that. She just wanted him to talk and get more content. So that's all she concerned herself about. But that ain't bad enough. But give me your final thoughts. 'Cause I gotta go to bed. I should have been up at I gotta
It's
be up
way past your
5 o'clock.
bedtime.
Yeah.
My final thoughts is, men, if you wanna tap into your masculinity because we all came from disadvantages. Most of us black men, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of us come from the hood. I came from the hood.
Right.
Just read. I say fuck the YouTube. Read. It's a good book called The Way of the Superior Man.
Right.
That is a great book on teaching you how to have healthy, positive masculinity, not overbearing and dictating and controlling, but how to center yourself in your masculinity. And then you could go get the results that you want. You a man, go conquer the world. The world is yours. But you gotta be able to have the fortitude to go and do that. You know what I'm saying? That's really it. Thanks for having me up here, HQ.
Thank
I
you,
know
Terry.
I be in the chat getting on your head a little bit, but it's all love.
I know.
It's all love. I fuck with you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for
For
coming.
sure.
All right. Everybody, thank you for showing up. You knew I was going to do it. Before Kendra got done, you knew I was going to be over there doing what I had to do in order to get this doggone review. He was just the same as he was the other day. Illness abound. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it is. I don't know. But I know he needs help more than what he's doing. That's for darn sure. So hopefully he can pull it together. I hope he pull it together for the sake of the baby. Thank you all. Hit the like button going out. Thank you all for showing up. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.